Alrighty, how are we, everybody? Holy shit! I thought my hair would look a little bit better than that. Fuck me. How are we, guys? Obviously, big game for the Brisbane Lions today to continue their push towards the top two. Need to keep on winning as well, especially with Collingwood dropping some games. Sydney, probably more for pride than anything, but would like to get a win over the Lions, the team who obviously beat them in last year's grand final. So, we actually did have one late change in this game. It was Brendan Starskovich. He is out for the Lions. In is Devon Robertson. He starts as the sub for Brisbane. For the Swans, Caden Cleary is the sub. Only one change for them. It was Hayden McLean in for Peter Adams. Absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe Peter Adams got dropped. My goat. But anyway, he is out. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in their defence today. The Brisbane, of course, Tom Doedee, actually surprised. Name probably hasn't been heard of in the last couple of years, but obviously moved to the Brisbane Lions a year or two ago from the Adelaide Crows and hasn't really had a go, had some injury troubles, been playing in the VFL for a lot of this year. However, he's finally got his first game in Brisbane colours today, so he may get the matchup on Tom Papley. We'll have to wait and see how that one goes. But big matchup coming up between these two. So players moving into their final huddles now, getting ready to go. So I have tipped Brisbane today, but hopefully my boys, the Swans, can get up in a bit of an upset. But I think it's just going to be tough for them. But Brisbane do have a couple of players out, a couple of big players. Ryan Lester, Lockie Neal, of course, the biggest one. Brendan Starskovich was a laid out, but he's, of course, a massive loss for them. But still, big game for both these teams. Players are starting to move into position now. Of course, the Swans, their record does read 10-10 this year, but that was obviously a very tough start to the year with a lot of injuries and poor form. They've improved a lot since then, I would say. But still not at their best, as I said in the tips throughout the week. I still think they've got a lot to work on. But a win against the reigning premiers would be a great start to that. So, interesting to see who James Jordan goes to today's game. Hugh McCluggage is obviously a candidate. Dane Zorko has done some pretty big damage against the Swans in recent times. So Sam Wicks, obviously been praised throughout the week from the AFL media for his great season as a defender. But here we go, the first quarter about to get underway at the Gabba. They played earlier in the year, of course, the grand final matchup of 2024. And here we go with Grundy getting the first tap. McCluggage, little basketball bounce to himself. Handballs over the top. Gets it to Rayner. Couldn't take a clean grab at it. Now Heeney spikes it forward, but turns it straight over to Wilmot. Been in great form the last couple of weeks. Short kick didn't hit his target. Zorko gives it back to Wilmot, the runner, who duck steps past Heeney with ease and blasts it inside the forward 50. Long ball, top of the goal square. Standing in front with a great grab was Nick Blakey. So Blakey went to play on, gives the handball back to Tom McCartan. Game 150 today. Mills over the top. They work it okay here, Sydney. Now to Lloyd. Inside to McCartan with his second touch in the chain. They work it up okay here now to Wicks. Inside ball to centre wing wasn't a great option. Cut off there by Harris Andrews. So Andrews takes a nice clean grab. Brilliant performance from him last week. Gives it inside to Zorko. He goes corridor. A nice looking kick. Wigglemont. Third touch already for him in the opening minute. So just going with a big switch here, the Lions. Out wide. Holds it up here. So Hipwood. Plus the long ball. Looking forward towards the forward pocket. Melican goes up. So does Morris. Couldn't take the mark. Hits the ground. Melican trying to get a handball away. Went in for the tackle. Held up nicely. There was Archie by Mills. And we'll have a stoppage. About 45 out. 45-degree angle from the Lions goal. And James Jordan... His job looks like he's on Hugh McCluggage today. So big match up there for both players. Grundy smacks it out of the area. McCluggage couldn't grab it cleanly, but he's going to get a free kick for a hold. So McCluggage got the big job today. Got a couple of lead-up options. Just goes to the low ball towards the top of the goal square. Dunkley went up. Tried the second attempt. He's claimed the mark. And he's been rewarded. No, he wasn't. It was a ball up. Didn't think so. Looked like it was touching about 4 different hands before Dunkley claimed it. But anyway. Tap down, Fort. Straight down. Up in the air. And it's through. Well, a great start here for the Lions. Josh Dunkley. What a goal from stoppage. Don't know how he got that boot to ball so quickly, but did really nicely. And Josh Dunkley kicks the opening goal of the match. Well, they dominated the Swans in this facet of the grand final last year. Always been a great side at stoppage Brisbane, and that was a great finish there to start this one. Gives a little bit of push and shove there to Justin McInerney, his opponent there. That was quick hand of foot work there from Josh Dunkley. Did it really nicely. Josh Dunkley. What a player he's been since moving to the Brisbane Lions from the Western Bulldogs. Could have actually been picked up as a Sydney Swan way back in the day, but obviously got picked up by the Bulldogs. Swans didn't match the bid, and ever since then been a thorn in the Swans side for a very long time. But Ashcroft gets the clearance here for the Lions, and they continue to push away here now. Rayner sends it towards the pocket, towards the one-on-one. Smith couldn't get there, and it trickles out of bounds. Out on the full, in fact. So Smith, of course, great game from him last week. First game of the year against the Pies. Nick Blakey's got the job on him today. So Blakey runs his full measure. Low darting ball outside the defensive 50. Finds Heeney. He wants to go immediately. Looking for a long ball. 50-metre kick was nice to McLean. That's a great grab. Back in the team this week after concussion left him out last. Looking for an option now. McLean goes towards the pocket. Went up there was Gardner. Didn't get a clean hit on that one. Buller tapped it to himself. Gardner back in. Papley with the pickup. Got off the handball. Off to Campbell. Wheels round on the left. Comes off the centre of the ball. Tried to snap and luckily gets a score in the end. First score of the afternoon for Sydney. Campbell tried to get it back onto his left boot there. Try and get a meaningful snap onto it. But Brisbane did pretty well to cover that left boot. Couldn't get a nice snap on it. So Brisbane try to clear their dear 50 for the moment, but turns it over to Cunningham. So true centre wing here, Harry Cunningham. Missed a lot of the start of the year, and the Swans sorely missed him. So now Cunningham works it towards half forward for Grundy. Had hands on it, brought it to the ground. Warner did well to get away from the tackler, McInerney. Back to Papley. Sets it up about 40 metres out directly in front. Good work from Bailey. Just bodied his opponent out of the way. So Bailey, just in short to Archie. Wasn't paid the 15. Don't know if he knows he does now. Works the kick forward. Great work from Nick Blake. He's had a good start. And he plays on immediately. Steps past his opponent. Low ball inside 50. Great looking ball for Heeney. That's better from the Swans. Nick Blake, he does a great intercept mark there. And immediately went on with it. So Isaac Heeney, an opportunity to kick the Swans first. Had a pretty underrated year for mine, Isaac Heeney. Of course, not to the heights that he reached in 2024, but still a brilliant year nonetheless. Highest goal scorer for the Swans this year. He'll wheel around on the left. He snaps truly, and the Swans hit the scoreboard for the first time in meaningful fashion through Isaac Heeney. So good snaps, good goal. He's always been pretty good at that, Isaac Heeney, the snap on the left. So Swans get there first. So great work there from the Swans. That was his 31st goal of the year, Isaac Heeney. That was a good finish. Swans have struggled with their goals so far, especially from some key tools. Hayden McLean's probably been the guy for a lot of this season, but even he was injured at the start of the year. Joel Amati been in and out through injury. He's out for the rest of the year. And of course, Logan McDonald missed the whole season through an injury. But Grundy with the tap, Warner, and the Swans will get the clearance again. Sheldrick just put it straight to the boot. Didn't really have much plan about it. Papley goes in hard. Luckily didn't get a massive hit in the end. Rayner's clearing ball turns it over, and Wicks will take the mark. Defensive side of the wing on the outer side. So Sam Wicks works back inside and blasted inside the forward 50. Gardner, sat in the hole, did it well. So Gardner went to go, didn't really have many options. Just worked the kick out wide, did okay. So he finds Sam Marshall. Probably not the more talked about father-son pickup in the last couple of years, but still got a lot of prospects coming forward. So Ashcroft gets it from his teammate. Not a great looking kick, but Dunkley stands up to it in the middle of the ground. That's a good grab in the end. And 50-metre penalty. It's going to be given to Dunkley here. So Errol Goulden not impressed by it. Harris Andrews about to give him a push, but that didn't last too long. So there was a downfield free kick, 50-minute penalty. The end result is a Lions shot on goal about 35 metres out here. And it will be going to Josh Dunkley. He doesn't kick a lot of goals, but a chance here for his second. So comes in with a measured approach. Not much angle to speak of. He comes in. It's gone out to the right. And he's missed. Not a great looking kick there from Dunkley. Probably should have done a little bit better there. But scores are all square. So Nick Blakey will take the kick in here for the Swans. He's looking through the corridor. He blasted into the middle of the ground. One-on-ones everywhere. Up goes Warner. It's a great grab. So Warner wants to go. Handball over the top. Not a great looking give in the end. It was a little bit Hollywood. He gets the ball back. Somehow gets it out to Goulden. Now Rampy. The Swans can link up now. Row bottom. Handball in front to Sheldrick. Gathers on the bounce on the right boot. Towards goal. Didn't get much of a good connection on it. And Harris Andrews takes a relieving grab. So he goes in short to Zorko. He looks corridor. He'll always bite off that kick. Good work. Finds McCluggage. And now the Lions just go straight through the guts. Straight to Hipwood. He wants to wheel on that left. Blasts inside the forward 50. Getting out the back is Morris! A star in his own right. Logan Morris with a little smirk on his face. That was a great grab. Well, he's been talked about a lot throughout the week with a massive performance against the Pies with the 6 goals over the week. He's got more goals than Buddy Franklin at this stage of his career, so he's had a brilliant start. Can you believe this guy slipped to 31 in the draft? And a chance here to kick his first goal of the afternoon. So Logan Morris coming off a career-high performance last week. Comes in, 45-degree angle, not much angle, and does really nicely to kick his opener. Keep on talking about the replacement for Joe Danaher, still not around. I think this guy's your future. Great work. So the Lions get their second goal. You really think Sydney at the Gabba? Me or the voting? I don't. I've tipped Brisbane, but yeah. I mean, I guess they can tip them. I think most people with that little tally in the top of the chat, sports edits, usually is just who they're barracking for, I'm going to be honest with you. So the Lions lead by a goal. Smith with the tap. Levi Ashcroft tracking it down with Sheldrick. Sheldrick pushed him under it. Jordan gives it back to Mills. Gets on that right. It's a bit of a tumbler towards centre half forward. Cut off well by Wilmot. Be one of the highest rated players for the Lions in the last 6 weeks. He works the kick out wide. It's a dangerous looking ball. Andrews got a hand on it to bring it to the ground. Try to shepherd the ball for his teammate. Buller, great looking tackle on Andrews. Trying to fight through it. Did well to lock him up. Be one of the few shining lights to the Swans this year, Jack Buller. Probably a bit of a crossroads towards the start of the season in the mid-year, but then got his opportunity and hasn't let it go since. Grundy with a tap. Sheldrick couldn't grab it cleanly. Smith tapped it to his teammate and Fletcher. Couldn't grab it cleanly. Lloyd spills it out towards the boundary line. McCluggage shrugs a tackle. Did it well. On the left boot up towards half forward. Going back with the flight was Melican. Couldn't take it. Now Hipwood handballs it back. Gets it on the 1-2. Wants to get onto his left. Has to use his right. Oh, you should use that more often. Almost the perfect kick. Cut off well by the 150 gamer in Tom McCartan. Knocks it out of bounds. Touching little jumper presentation at the start of the before the game for Tom McCartan. His brother and Paddy made the trip up to Brisbane. Gave him his 150 game jumper. It was a brilliant little tribute there. Swans try to get the clearance only as far as Fletcher. Now Ashcroft works it towards the pocket. Players will fly. Blakey with the spoil. Then a little shove there from McInerney. Only went as far as now Sheldrick. Got it off the smother. Melican, handle on the inside. Handball up there from Totoli. Only as far as Wicks. Got the kick away. Free kick's been called here. It's going to come back to the Swans. It's going to go to Sam Wicks. So Wicks has the footy here in the defensive 50. Got the free kick. Got a couple of lead-up options. One of them is Lloyd. He'll work this kick over the top for Golden. Good grab. He wants to wheel and go. Gives off the handball to Mills. Got a couple of options. A little bit of overlap here for the Swans. Sheldrick on the inside to Lloyd. Usually a good user. That is brilliant. And finds the second gamer in Jesse Totoli. Had a few opportunities last week to kick his first goal in AFL footy. Wasn't able to find the big sticks. Kept his spot in the side though. Has promising attributes as a footballer. And a chance here to kick his first goal. A lot of players loved his pre-season at the Sydney Swans. Had a bit of injury concern. He comes in now. He's snapping it towards goal. He didn't hit it great. And it's balled through for a behind. Still like the look of him though. Unfortunately, he still hasn't been able to kick his opening goal of his career. But that will come. So Brisbane want to go on the commentary side. Wasn't a great looking kick. Harris did well there, Jake Lloyd, to knock that out of bounds. It's 5 points to the margin. About to tick halfway through the opening term. Tap down from Smith. Ashcroft immediately tackled. In fact, it was held too early, so Levi will get the free kick. So he's looking corridor. What a season he's had in his opening year as a Lion. In short, finds his target to Cameron. He wants to thread one through the corridor. What a kick. Hits up Berry. He wants to wheel and go. He does now. Blasted towards the top of the goal square. Morris is there. Good spoil there by McCartan. Brought it to the ground. Now McInerney tries to get outside the D50 and does it well for the Swans. Handball away Florent. Now Goulden breaks the tackle. Handball over the top to Jordan. Swans running in waves now. Off to Sheldrick on the right boot inside the forward 50. Great work. Great work, Sydney. And Braden Campbell will have the shot. That work from the Swans outside the defensive 50, from defense to offense, was textbook stuff. Great work there from Ollie Florent. Had to keep the hands free there to keep that ball moving. Did it really nicely. And then Angus Sheldrick on the right boot, if you don't mind. Now Braden Campbell. It's been moved into the forward 50 this year under the tutelage of Dean Cox. He comes in, it holds that left goal post, but only for a moment. Goes in on the right side, and the Swans have their second. Great work there from Braden Campbell. But that was all Justin McInerney's work in the D50. To run that out, almost a little bit of arrogance in that run. Had players trying to break him down, but he did really well to just burst off the defensive 50, get the ball working through the middle of the ground, and the end result is a Braden Campbell goal. Great work. And Braden Campbell always been a pretty good set shot. So into the middle we go. Tap down from Fort. Warner try to tap it to his own advantage. Fort again tackled. And a ball up. Obviously came in. Got in the grand final last year. Didn't get many games. And then all of a sudden came into the grand final team. And what a performance he had, by the way. Now Warner with the clearance. Good work to Sheldrick. Has to be 50, surely. Great play from Sheldrick. It was a good mark. And then the Brisbane defender, can't really see who it was at that moment, but just knocked it out of his hands after the mark. Always going to be paid 50. I think it was Dane Zorko. It wouldn't surprise me too much, but giving away the 50 there. And Sheldrick taken to about 25 metres out, directly in front. He's had a very good start to this game. Had a very good year for mine, Angus Sheldrick. Recently re-signed with the Sydney Swans. Said that he never wants to leave Sydney. It's great signs for the future, but for the right now, dead straight with the kick, and the Swans break out to a 7-point lead. Great kick there from Angus Sheldrick. The Swans had a very good start to this game. Yeah, it was Dane Zorko. That was 100% a mark. I mean, I get you want to say it's not 15, but yeah. And Chad Warner gives him a little bum tap, so thanks for that, mate. There's a reason why Luke Parker was let go by the Swans at the end of the year. They wanted to give this guy more responsibility, and he's had a very good start to this game. So we're back in the middle once again. McLean goes in against Fort. Fort with the tap. Oh, that was brilliant. Knocked down to Levi Ashcroft. A spiral ball inside the 50. It gets out the back. All of them fall down like 10-pin bowling almost. But Melican gets back first. Kick on the outside. Went up Heeney. Couldn't take the mark. Berry is tracking it there. Rowbottoms gets to the footy first and it's out of bounds. So a couple of Brisbane players are down behind play here. One's Archie. The other one looks like Eric Hipwood. May have to hold this up for a moment. Not great signs. Players just came in and they collected each other. In fact, it's Henry Smith who comes straight through the front of Cal Archie. Wasn't a great look. Oh, just unlucky. Little bit of friendly fire. Both players showing true courage. And it's Cal Archie who come off almost worse for wear. Speller's Henry Smith. He seems okay now. But it looks like both players going to be taken off the field. Probably be assessed. Hopefully everything's all good there. Who will win, you guys reckon? I've tipped the Lions. It's 50-50 on the poll in the chat at the moment, though. 3 votes apiece. So Devon Robertson was the late inclusion for the laid out of Brendan Starskovich. He is the sub, so maybe used early on here. So back in the ruck. Grundy with the tap, straight to the front. McInerney gives it straight off to Levi Ashcroft. He says thank you. Blasts a high ball forward. Spoiled away, but only as far as Ashcroft. Dunkley, quick hands was nice. Rayner, further on to Darcy Wilmot. Tried to step out of a tackle. Campbell did well. Back to Zorko, and he turned it over. Great pressure from the Swans. Warner surely taken high. Had to be high, and it was. Zorko a little bit overzealous there on the tackle. So Warner gives it off to Sam Wicks, who wants to run away from his defensive 50. Kicks into the middle of the ground, standing underneath it. Good work from Wilmot. Went to kick. Almost got it smothered. Almost got paid 50. Umpire just goes straight down the middle and says, let's just keep it together, boys. Works the kick out wide. Dunkley just outside the centre square. 7:50 still left in this opening term. Kick on the inside to Will Ashcroft. He'll want a short little kick on the lead up. Couldn't take the mark, was McLaughlin. Spoiled away. Cal Archie seems okay now. Snaps it towards goal. A little bit wide. Too wide. Just creeps inside the point post for a minor score. What a game. What an end of the season he had last year, Cal Archie. Had a brilliant grand final as well, by the way. So short kick here for Sydney. Finds Jake Lloyd. He just wants to go with the lateral ball back to Melican. And he further goes wide here to Tom McCartan. Goes with a low darting kick towards the wing. Campbell was pushed. Wasn't paid. Oh, was paid. So Fletcher, a little bit unlucky there. So Braden Campbell gets the free. Short little stabbing kick finds McInerney. He's had a good start to this game. Swans working this up nicely here. He finds Tom Papley. Probably hasn't came into great form since his return. Obviously, since the Toby Green comments. He wants to go into towards the pocket. Looking for the one-on-one baller. Great body work. Got back onto it. Back inside to Grundy. Row bottom. Underground. Finds Chad Warner. Looking corridor. Doesn't have a lot of options. So just goes right back here. Almost to centre wing in the end. To Cunningham. Short little ball. Florent wasn't paid the mark. Has to get it on the boot quickly. And he's turned it over. Wasn't great work there from the Swans. They wasted that opportunity. Harris Andrews in short now to Will Ashcroft. Great little duck step. The kick wasn't so great though. Marshall under all sorts of pressure. Sheldrick got beaten by Dunkley. Ashcroft did well. Fletcher, Levi, off to Will. Looking for a lead-up option. Has nothing forward. Has to hold up for the moment. Now he sends it high towards the one-on-one. Standing in front was McCartan. Surely got a high one. So the Swans want to take the advantage here. They want to go through pace. Cunningham gives it into Mills. Looking corridor. It's a dangerous looking kick for Papley. Did well there, Gardner. Ball landed nicely for Buller. Handball over the top to Jordan. About to get taken down. Got the handball away. Golden on his right boot. Want to get back onto that left. He's looking. Did well. Broke the ankles of Wilmot. Then directs the kick inside. 50. Great work. Errol Golden did brilliantly with that play. And now finds Braden Campbell on the lead. Golden was always looking corridor on that left boot. And then Wilmot just somehow went to ground here. Golden duck. There was a little step there. Did really nicely. Took Wilmot off balance. And the kick inside 50. Really nice work. So Braden Campbell just collecting himself after a great run from him. So he comes in on goal, Braden Campbell. The kick goes left and too wide. Opportunity goes begging there for Sydney. So Dane Zorko will take the free kick, take the kick in here. Works it out wide. Standing in front is McLean. Went straight through his hands. McCartan almost got taken high. It runs out of bounds. Not very much pressure in this game so far. A lot of transitions so far in this one. So in the ruck, fought with the tap and then the secondary. Straight down, did it well. Over the top with the handball, finds Will Ashcroft. Low ball, did nicely with the kick to find Hipwood. Telling for a little bit of calm as we break into red time in this opening term. So Eric Hipwood has the footy on centre wing. Gets on that left. Kicks it long towards half forward. Standing was McLaughlin. Couldn't take the mark. Sheldrick gives it off to Rampy. Gets to the handball away. The Swans work it well. They've been using a lot of handball in this opening quarter. Handball over the top finds Sheldrick. Didn't really look with the kick, but it may work out in the end. They've got the player at the back here, the Swans. McLean did well. Row bottom. Over the top. They've still got a number in the goal square. McInerney finds him in Buller. Great work from the Swans. Jack Buller saw how this play was going to unfold. He quickly ran to the goal square. An opportunity here for the Swans to get out to a nice lead late in the opening term. So Jack Buller has found himself a nice little role in the Sydney forward 50 this year. He'll run around, snap on goal, and he's kicked truly. The Swans break out to a 13-point lead. Great work there from Sydney. And the small crowd that is at the Gabba today are all up and about. So Jack Buller seems to have a bit of a role on Harris Andrews today. Did that really well there. Did really well there, the Swans. They worked it nicely. And Justin McInerney's having a brilliant opening term in this game. So Justin McInerney had the 5 touches so far. Has been really good. Angus Sheldrick probably been Sydney's best player. And Jack Buller comes off the ground after a goal as he seems traditional sort of sense in this game now. So back in the middle. Grundy with the tap almost. Back defensive side though. Ashcroft did well to duck past the tackler. Eventually finds his brother in Will. Sends it inside the forward 50. Archie going back with the flight. Couldn't take the mark. Cameron taken towards the boundary line. Cunningham. Nice smart little way to just push him over. And then give a little pack on the back. So it looks like he's got the job on Charlie Cameron today. And Sam Wicks has got the job on Cal Archie. So Cunningham... Really good 2 defensive small defenders for the Swans now. Grundy with the tap. Archie tracking it. Gives it off to Cameron. He's out of bounds, surely. He thought, I think he knew, but he was more than happy to keep on going if the umpire didn't see it. So it's out of bounds forward pocket for Brisbane. So forward stoppage. Swans have been pretty poor at this so far this season. Brisbane would love to get the work. They've already got a goal from a forward stoppage today. So throws it back in. Fought with the tap. Tapping it on. Rayner almost grabbed it cleanly. In and under Jordan. Little soccer off the ground from Wicks. Golden try to get the kick away. Only as far as Fletcher. Wrapped up by Rowbottom. Ball up. How you doing, footy lover? You love my videos? Oh, I appreciate that, man. What are you up to today? So forward stoppage here for the Lions. Tap down. Mills got it off Goulden. Just clears it outside the area for the moment. Goes towards centre wing with the kick. Ball hits the ground. Reville up against Papley. Got a high one. He takes the advantage. Handball forward. Over the top to Warner. No one's going to track him down. All is about to finish. And Warner delivers. The Swans are on fire at the Gabba early. And they have 5 in the opening term. Great work from the Swans. They're well and truly up for the fight today. Great work here on the wing. Chad Warner with a little bit of body work on, who was it? Just trying to see who it was there. Can't really see who it is. I have to just check for the moment. It was Tom Duday, in fact, in the number 12 jumper. Couldn't win that battle in the air. Ball hit the ground and no one was going to catch Chad Warner running towards goal. Jared Berry did his best, but Chad Warner with the finish. Papley just too strong through the core. Totoli with a nice handball. Had to be perfect that way. Very underrated sort of give, that one. And the Swans lead by 19. Grundy with the tap. Heeney up and under ball. Won't be paid the 15. Bailey almost took that in the end. Tackled well by Jordan, who tried to break it. And he'll get the free. Great work there from Jordan. He had a kick out wide. He decides to just send it back in the dangerous area. Harris Andrews with the spoil. Totoli, in fact, it was Heeney who was held, only momentarily, clearing ball for the Lions. McCartan, good spoil on Morris. Almost tunneled there was Lloyd. Totoli up against Reville. Tapped it onto Morris. He's wrapped up. Held up. Reville again, tried to get out of there. Goulden. Hayden McLean tried to sock it off the ground, only to his detriment. He kicked it on the full. So Darcy Gardner will get the free kick. So yeah, it was Jake Lloyd who was tunneled just a little bit there. AFL trying to get that out of the game. Didn't seem, wasn't too bad, but not a great look. Long kick up the wing. Up went the Lions. Totoli held up by Dunkley. We'll have a stoppage. So centre wing out of side. So from the tap, Grundy couldn't take it cleanly. Jordan was taken high by McCluggage. Umpire did see it in the end. So Jordan will get the free kick. Jordan has the footy now, has the big match up on Hugh McCluggage today. He's had a couple of good, nice things in this early stages of this one. He'll send it towards the 50. One-on-ones everywhere. McLean did well to bring it to the ground. Goulden got the kick away. Spiral ball inside the 50. Bailey did well to cover the bounce. Gets the 1-2, and off they go, the Lions. Rebounding off the defensive 50. Reville over the top to Berry. Ducked ahead. He may get a high one here. He won't, and all the Swans players aren't impressed by it either. Shouldn't have been a free kick for mine. He just ducked and got the free. But now they've got a lot of players everywhere here, the Lions. They just have to work it out. Ashcroft to Wilmot. Just has to think, kick, and goal. Great work there from Darcy Wilmot. A huge celebrator as well. He'll get up and about. Well, despite the Swans probably winning this opening term, the Lions only find themselves 13 points behind. This is not a free kick. Jared Berry has just ducked his hair, has ducked his whole body down to get that free kick. I fucking hate that. Oh, fuck me. That's so shit. You understand why the umpire pays it, but also you should be well aware now that if a player goes to his knees to get fucking tackled, it's not a free kick. Anyway. So a minute to go in this opening quarter. Brisbane finally respond after the Swans had a nice surge in the last 10 minutes. So back in the ruck, fought with the tap. Ashcroft, domination. Did well, breaks away from stoppage. Blasted in towards the top of the goal square, but Blakey takes a good mark. And he's given it to Harry Henry Smith there, a little bit there, Nick Blakey. He's had a good opening quarter. And he sprints away from Smith. Takes a second bounce. Oh, the kick was very, very bad. Turns it straight over. And now the Lions can make them pay. Fort sends it towards the pocket. And bouncing ball eventually just taken out of bounds by Morris. It's all well and good to talk the talk there, Nick Blakey, but the kick had to be better. He was very lucky that wasn't an instant return inside the forward 50 there for Lions. So 31 seconds left. The Brisbane Lions, can they get a late goal here? Grundy with the tap. Levi Ashcroft coming through. Florent back to McCartan. And now Cunningham tries to get it out the area. Not a great kick. McInerney did well. Goulden up to Dotoli. He works the kick down the wing, looking for McLean, but Andrews stands in front, and they want to go. They got to go quickly though. Kick inside to Dunkley, couldn't take it cleanly. Low darting ball inside 50, and Ashcroft takes it down low, and he'll have the final say of the opening term. Well, the Ashcroft brothers have had a brilliant opening term, and Will, of course, has had some very good work against the Swans in recent history. A Norm Smith medal and a premiership before 50 games. Cannot believe that this guy doesn't get talked about more. But what an opening term he's had, Will Ashcroft. Can he cap it off with a goal? He'll run in from just outside the offensive 50. It goes long. It's a bit of a floater and goes wide. So the last score of the opening quarter for Brisbane is only a minor score. But they ended the first quarter strongly with a goal. And at the first break, the Sydney Swans, who were very good, lead by 2 goals at the opening break. Brisbane, 3-3-21, trail the Swans, 5-3-33. All right, let's take a look at the statistics of this one in a moment. I've got to take a whiz or else I'm going to pee myself, which wouldn't be great for the stream, I'm going to be honest. All right, let me take a whiz and I'll be back. Jesus, my ass. Oh, shit. Hopefully that doesn't get clipped out of context. Anyway. Alright, let's have a look. So let's have a look at the stats after the opening term. So we need to go here, need to go... Oh. There. Alright, let's have a look. That one. Alright, so let's have a look at the opening term. Josh Dunkley was very good for Brisbane in the opening quarter with a first goal of the game as well with the 8 touches. I'd say Will Ashcroft's been best on the ground so far though. 39 fantasy points, 12 touches and 2 clearances. He was really, really good. Along with Darcy Wilmot had a very good opening term. For the Swans, a lot of top contributors as you would expect. Isaac Heeney, Chad Warner, Angus Sheldrick for mine's been very good for Sydney, along with Sam Wicks had a very good start to this game. If I had to give early best players, like from the opening term, Will Ashcroft would be my best. Angus Sheldrick would be 2. Who else? Darcy Wilmot probably be the 1. Dunkley, Warner, Heeney, Campbell probably up there as well. They've had very good opening quarters for both their respective sides. Cool. Not getting the channel taken down by accidentally revealing the game. That would have been exciting. So I don't think there was any mention of those little injury concerns for the Lions in that opening term. It looks like they're all good. There was a couple of... there was a clash between Smith and Archie, but they seem all fine. So that's good signs there for Brisbane. Do you show the game? No, I can't show the game, man. I'll get the channel taken down. So players are starting to move back into their respective positions for the second term. Swans had a very good opening quarter. Haven't been able to put much of a four-quarter performances against many teams so far this year, so the job's definitely not done yet. So here we go. Second quarter about to get underway. Swans lead it by 2 goals. Waiting for the umpire to bounce it. It's not your moment, bro. Bounce the ball. Anyway, fought with the tap. Immediately, Will Ashcroft getting the ball forward, spiraling inside the forward 50. Couldn't take the grab. Mills try to get the handball over the top. Did it well. Heeney back to Mills. The Swans do well. Floater inside towards the 50, and Wilmot takes well in the intercept mark. And it keeps on running. Zorko, short dabbing ball, did nicely to Dunkley. Handball over the top. Will Ashcroft just continues on. Ball inside the forward 50, looks okay. It gets at the back. Swans have the numbers. McCartan gets there first. McLaughlin puts on the pressure. Mills, McCartan, Melican, they're under all sorts of pressure. The Swans, Heeney, handball over the top. McCartan, they did it well there. The Swans, and now Rampy breaks away. Don't know how they've worked that out there, the Swans, but they've done okay. Florent clears it outside the area. Gardner couldn't take the grab. Buller was there. Got it out well, Gardner. Fort, Reveal. Inside the forward 50 towards the pocket for Morris. In fact, it's Hipwood who takes the grab. Did really nice there, Eric Hipwood. It's going to be a tough kick, though, for a left footer. Tucked up, right in the pocket. Setting up for a right foot snap. So he's done this a couple of times in his career with the right foot. It's going to be a tough kick, though. So now Hipwood, he wheels around, snaps on the right. It's coming back. Oh, he should use it more often. Great work there from Hipwood on the right boot. Kicks the opener of the second term. He's hit that brilliantly. So a good start there for the second term for Brisbane. All over it. Their pressure was better. Still only been 16 tackles between both the teams in the opening seconds of his second term in the game. But a good finish there from Eric Hipwood. If they're going to be making a meaningful impact in finals, the Lions potentially go back-to-back, he needs to fire as well. It can't just be Logan Morris. So back in the middle, the Swans desperately need to lift around Will Ashcroft. He is dominated. McCluggage gives it off to Dunkley, and the Brisbane Lions get another clearance. Spiral ball inside the forward 50. McLaughlin did well to bring it to the ground. Ashcroft wrapped up by Blakey. Ball up. Just outside the forward 50 of the Lions. So throws it up. Grundy with the tap. Couldn't take it out of there. Mills. Dispossessed. Did well there, Ashcroft. We put under a lot of pressure here, Zorko. Ball up again. Well, Ashcroft's been brilliant in this opening quarter and a bit. since Lockie Neal's out, of course, with his quad injury. He's been brilliant in his first game without him. But now the Lions get another clearance. Reveal inside the forward 50, comes off the outstep and turns it over to Melican. So now Melican goes straight through the guts. Warner wants to go. Kicked. Oh, it's a terrible kick. It was not very good at all. He took it off one step and turned it straight over. No care whatsoever. So now Zorko goes towards the pocket. Up goes McLaughlin. Great work from McCartan. Stole it out of his grasp. Kick on the instep. Did nicely. Goulden wants to go. Couldn't do so. Wilmot did well to man the mark. So Goulden goes to the kick across the middle of the ground. He's turned it straight over again. Berry off to Ashcroft. He deserves a goal. He goes into the goal square. All on his own is Morris, who stole a goal from Will Ashcroft. And Morris will kick the goal in the end. What an opening quarter, though. Quarter and a few minutes here from Will Ashcroft. He's had a brilliant start to this game. Logan Morris will get the goal on the score sheet, but everyone knows that was a Will Ashcroft effort that got that one through. That was going to be a certain goal there from Will Ashcroft. Morris knew it as soon as he grabbed it. I think it was like a courtesy little... Oh, I'm gonna say... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to grab it. Will Ashcroft was all good in it, though. Just say it was to make it an absolute certainty. Well, he got a career-high 6 last week, Logan Morris. He's already got 2 this afternoon. So from the tap, Grundy won it down. Heeney just sockets it off the ground. It works out well. Sheldrick takes the grab. He's got Goulden with a lateral ball. He decides to just hold it up for the moment. So now Sheldrick sends it inside the forward 50. Grundy getting back. Andrews spoils it. Did well. Harris Andrew couldn't win it on the ground there. McLaughlin did well. Was Jordan. Now Heeney sending it towards goal. Bit of a floater. Goes wide. So now Brisbane can go on the counter. Fletcher over the top to Archie. Gets a nice bounce. Handball out wide. They work it okay, Morris. Short little ball. Hits up Rayner. Wants to get on the left inside with a brilliant looking ball. And hits up McLaughlin. That rebound there from the Lions. Brilliant. Swans could not stop it. And Will McLaughlin was one of the inclusions this week. A chance here to get his first score of the game. Just a little bit too easy there for the Lions. That was a great kick, though, from Cam Rayner. So Will McLaughlin, about 40 metres out, slight angle, comes in on the left boot. Did not look like missing, and the Brisbane Lions take the lead back since the opening 10 minutes of the game. I said it at the quarter-time break that the Swans have not been able to make a four-quarter performance pretty much all year. And one quarter wasn't going to get this game done. And the Lions have responded. So a good kick and goal there from Will McLaughlin, but the work up the ground was very, very good from the Brisbane Lions. So it's starting to rain a bit more here at the Gabba now. Not a very good bounce there from the umpire. That'll be called back. The rain has just started to pour at the Gabba. You can see it on the televised. Oh, it's just terrible. It looks like all the people in the crowd starting to move back while Grundy gets the hit out, and a meaningful one, almost tracks down to the centre half forward. Brisbane recover. Gardner's long kick missed by Rampy. Ball gets out the back, but McCartan did really well. Looking for the 1-2. Handball missed him. Inside, the Swans have the numbers, though. McInerney over the top to Sheldrick. Swans have got the overlap here. Golden looking corridor. Handball inside to Grundy. Didn't give it last week. He does now, and Grundy stopped on the last line of defense by Harris Andrews. Oh, not a very good kick. Oh, it just works out okay there from Andrews. Takes the mark, Wilmot. Short kick to Ashcroft. Gets taken high. Got a bit lucky there, the Lions. So short kick. Finds Zorko. Inside ball. Finds Bailey. So for all that effort there, the Lions, they've just got the centre half back. Now he looks out towards the wing. Slide, that ball will go for McCluggage. Cunningham stands up. Did okay. Marshall has scored it over the boundary line. So, centre wing commentary side, ball will be thrown in here. 14 and a half, over 14 and a half minutes left in this second quarter. Brisbane have done really well to respond. They've kicked the first 3 goals of this second term. Swans have yet to kick a goal. Grundy with the tap. McInerney slaps it forward. More for territory than anything. Ashcroft tracking it down. Rowbottom is there. Rowbottom did well. Got the ball forward. It tumbles, but it's going to go wide. So free kick will go to the Lions here on the wing. So now, I think it's Harris Andrews goes long with the kick. Melican got there first. Probably ran over it in the end. Florent handball back. Wicks and Morris meet. Now Grundy further back to Cunningham. And now Wicks wants to get back on that right. Doesn't really have a lot of options. Did well to spin out of the trouble though. Short little kick wasn't great. Turns it over here to Duday. So I think this is his first touch in Brisbane colours. Nice little warm round of applause around the Gabba. He goes to the long kick. One-on-ones everywhere. Rampy takes the front spot. Spoiled to the ground. Marshall threw it. Almost. Tottoli did well. Got the kick away just in time. Ball trickles towards the 50. Golden taken down. Hipwood spiked it off the ground. Only as far as Cunningham. Got the kick away. Looking for his numbers in Florent. Ball going towards the boundary line out of bounds. Yeah, not deliberate as it shouldn't be. So 13 and a half left. Looks like Jordan's taking the match up here on Will Ashcroft. The Swans want to shut that down really quick. So interesting to see how McCluggage goes now. Sheldrick with the tackle on Marshall, then just stole it out of his grasp. Got the ball onto his left boot again. Kick on the instep. Trying to gather it off the ground. There was Golden. Left the footy behind though. McCluggage did well. Ashcroft continues on. Zorko, low darting ball inside the 50. Archie was beaten to it. Zorko gets it back. Onto the run of Wilmot. He's already kicked one and buries his second. He's had a very good start to this game, Darcy Wilmot. Now he's got his second goal. Well, they've dominated the Swans in the early stage of this second term. 4 goals to none. Darcy Wilmot having a brilliant first half of this game. Just Golden here, went to ground, left the ball behind, and that's really what cost the Swans. Really good handball here from Will Ashcroft as well, by the way. Took the ball in the wet, clean as you like, and Zorko's run did really nice with the damage. Finished off by Darcy Wilmot. That is a career high for Darcy Wilmot. He's kicked goals in his career, but first time he's got 2 in a game. So back in the middle we go. Grundy with the tap. Heeney pushed out of it by Levi Ashcroft. Gets the clearing ball inside towards the 50. It will bounce in the end. Melican up against his opponent. Ball runs out of bounds. Just outside forward 50 here for Brisbane. The Swans are under siege at the moment. In the last 6 games at the Gabba, the Brisbane Lions have won every single one of them against the Swans. And if it continues down this trajectory, they're going to go down with a 7th loss. Swans have to respond here. Grundy with the handball to Jordan. Kick inside the corridor. It's a dangerous looking ball. Fletcher went up, couldn't take the mark. Golden got beaten to it just by Fletcher and did well to just get that ball into a 50-50. So still 12 and a half minutes left in this second term. The Lions have done brilliantly in the early stages. Tap down. Jordan tried to get the kick away straight into the legs of Grundy. Jordan tackled immediately. Lloyd in and under with Dunkley. Trying to get it out. We'll get a stoppage. So that heavy rain was only there for a moment. Clearance from Levi Ashcroft's. Cunningham got the handball away. Mills to Melican. Kick goes right back to the last line where we find Nick Blakey. Doesn't really have a lot of options here, Nick Blakey. Looking for something to arise for him. Just has absolutely nothing to go to. Now he goes high and long. Down the wing. Looking for someone to go up. Heeney is there. Did well with the body. Couldn't win it on the ground though. Dunkley. High up and under ball. Just getting inside the forward 50. Going up and almost dragging it down was McLaughlin. Mills got the handball away. Grundy gives it off to Wicks. He's got a runner. Decides to go himself. He takes a bounce. Over the top to McInerney. Who does he want? He's got a handball on the outside. It's a terrible handball to Campbell. Has to go back and get it. Eventually Buller gives it back to Campbell, usually a better user. Goes towards the pocket, and Heeney drops the mark. Got pushed in the end. Play on. Wilmot gives it back to Gardner. He'll go wide. Oh, terrible kick. And Campbell will take the mark. Maybe within his repertoire here, Braden Campbell. It's a long way out, but I think he's got the distance in him. Wasn't a great kick there from Gardner, by the way. Terrible kick. So Campbell looks like he's going to direct it to the top of the goal square. Who's going to fly for the Swans? Warner in front, Gardner at the back. Ball got spoiled. Buller was held for a moment. Marshall, handball, turned it over. Papley in the pocket! Almost got there. Swans need to find a way to lock this in here. So Wilmot goes in short to Ashcroft. And he goes further onto his brother. And now they can go with the lines again. Coming off that defensive goal square, they've just been brilliant in this second term. They've already got out to Kalachi with no sort of pressure whatsoever. But now he holds up. Short ball on the lead. Got to stop this kick mark game here, the Swans. So now they have it with Tom Duday. Handball now to Zorko. Low darting ball towards the 50. It's a great work there to Hipwood. In fact, it's Henry Smith. Hasn't had a lot of impact so far. He's got a short option. He decides to just go top of the goal square. 40's there. Swans have the numbers though. McLean takes a good mark. So Jake Lloyd usually gets these little receiving handballs. Sends it towards the wing. Buller is there up against Gardner. Gardner did well, but only as far as Papley. Roved it nicely. Kick over the top to Warner. Has to go. Smacked it on. Did nicely. Harris Andrews got away with it. Duday did nicely. Quick handball. Gardner. Andrews. Brisbane work it out okay. Skids on now to Fletcher. He gives the handball back to Marshall. Looking inside. Kick is absolutely perfect to Zorko. And it looks like he's given away 50. Chad Warner he has. That kick was perfect from Sam Marshall. If it went one way or another, it was going to be a turnover. So Zorko just holding his stomach at the moment. Maybe just winded, but definitely grabbing the I think it's his right side of his body. A little bit unlucky there. Dane Zorko stood up against it. Both Totoli from one side, Warner from the front. Stood up really well there. One of the spiritual leaders of the club, Dane Zorko, was there through all the tough years. Finally got some success at the Lions in the last few. And of course the premiership last year. But he's taken all the way inside the forward 50 is Zorko. A chance here to give Brisbane their biggest lead of the game so far. Oh, the kick comes off the outside of the boot and just in for a behind. Didn't get a good connection on that at all. But Zorko in the early career of his footy career was such a prolific goal scorer. And then a bit of a crossroads in his career a couple of years ago. Then was taken to the back 50 of all things. Didn't really saw that as a bit of a surprise and got a new lease on his AFL career. But now Nick Blakey goes wide. Fort brings it to ground. Numbers with Brisbane again. Inside handball. Gives it off and then thrown it away, Rayner. Swans lift the pressure. Great work from Rowbottom. Now the Swans have to work this ball towards the 50 here. Can't waste it. Cal Mills has it. He's got a kick out wide. It's a long 50-meter ball for McInerney. Didn't have to break stride. That kick was inch perfect. So who does Justin McInerney want? He's come off it a little bit since that opening term. Had a very good start to the game. Gives off the handball. Mills, who kept on running, gives it back to McInerney. He's just going to have to go towards the pocket. It's going to be very close to the line, but Heeney just hovers in the air and takes the mark. That kick was tracking that boundary line, but Heeney, as he does, the trademark hover, takes the grab, tucked up in the pocket. It's going to be a tough kick, but if anyone can, Isaac Heeney can. So now, wheels around on the left. It's going to come back. It's going to come back. Oh, he's got it. Gives it to the people in the crowd. Isaac Heeney's got two. Well, the Swans needed that one just to stay in touch. It's only 5 points. And Isaac Heeney just drew that back to perfection. Oh, it's very close to the line. I think it was in, but oh, it's very, very close. Good finish there from Isaac Heeney. He's playing a little bit more forward this afternoon. So Josh Dunkley has kept an eye on him throughout the game, but up forward, they probably don't want that matchup. So Fort tried to get the tap down. Handball, throw, almost there, Dunkley. McLean gives it off to McInerney. Mills, handball on the outside of the voice of Goulden. He has to go get it. Gives it back to Cunningham. Eventually gives it back to Goulden on the left boot. Low ball towards half forward. It gets out the back for Jordan. Good grab. Comes back on his mark now, James Jordan. Sends it towards the top of the goal square. Who's going to fly for the Swans? Reveal! Out of nowhere takes it over the big man in Hayden McLean. And the big roar of Bruce goes around the Gabba. So sends it out wide. Long ball. Good mark from Hipwood. And he wants to wheel and go. About to get tackled. Got the kick away. Comes off the instep. Good work from Cunningham just to corral it. Handball inside. McLean to Mills. Switch play was nice to Rowbottom. Kick over the top. Warner. He'll wind up and go towards the pocket. Numbers here with the Swans. Buller couldn't mark. Tolly on the ground. About to get tackled. Stood up to it and then eventually got taken down by Dunkley. Did it pretty well, but it just had to get rid of the footy there to Tolly. And Dunkley, a prime tackler. So Duday. It's been okay so far. Short ball to Harris Andrews. So 6.5 left in this second term. Brisbane have dominated most of it. Swans did get the last goal of this game though. So he goes to wide ball. Buller up against Dunkley. Was held surely. Umpire says play on. Dunkley, kick on the instep. Did well. Finds Levi Ashcroft. Wants to give it on the up. McCluggage says no. So Levi seizes an option to try and switch it, but realises that's not the best, so it just goes high and long. Swans with a 2-on-1. Mills gets the spoil away. Runs towards the boundary line. Swans have the numbers here. Warner towards Sheldrick. Kick on the instep. They go now the Swans. They've got numbers. Jordan gives it off to Warner. Saw a play coming from the blind side. Gets the kick out wide. Goulden in a 1-on-1. Got up. Bailey did well. Got it away from his opponent. Heeney takes the handball off to Goulden. Couldn't take it cleanly. Handball back. They got numbers here, the Swans. They just have to work it out. McLean, Jordan, and now with Nick Blakey. They'll have to track it down, though. Ball just needs to bounce up for him. Got all the time in the world here, the Lizard. Went on the left, then the left. Tries to run past Smith. Did it with relative ease. Goes towards the pocket for Heeney. Great work from Blakey on the wing. Darcy Gardner not impressed whatsoever. Barking instructions to Henry Smith. Had to keep him on the boundary side there. That's probably what Gardner's saying, but Nick Blakey, hard to corral with the best of people. So now Isaac Heeney for his third goal of the game. And he's third on the left boot. He'll snap around. Should use it more often. King Isaac on full display. So the Swans take the lead back after big dominance from Brisbane in this second term. The Swans have got the last two and regain the lead. Hi, it me again. How you doing, Hickson Magpies? What are you up to this afternoon, mate? So Heeney's got his third goal of the game. And he's brought his team back in this contest. So just under 5 minutes to go in this first half. It's been a bit of a roller coaster of an afternoon. Fort got the tap. Dunkley with another clearance. They have dominated from the middle of the ground, the Lions. Kick inside the forward 50. Cunningham with the spoil. Lloyd did well to take the footy. And then he runs away. Handball inside. McInerney got a nice bounce. Over the top to Golden. Did well to keep it in his own possession. Florent, stiff arm on Zorko. Doesn't really have a lot of options forward. So lateral ball wide to find Rowbottom. Kick short to McInerney. Under all sorts of pressure from Dunkley. But did well. I think it's been a while, man, Hickson. But how have you been anyway? So short to Rowbottom. They went about 5 metres. The umpire said that's all clear. Short inside to Sheldrick. Been brilliant in this first half of the Swans. He looks up the field. Sends it towards the pocket. Heeney's not there, but Grundy will do! Darcy Ford barking instructions to the umpire, saying he was hit in the contest. But Brodie Grundy, he'll just take the mark. Has been pretty well quelled by Darcy Ford in this first half. But a chance here to get a goal and almost erase all of the hard work from the Lions in this first half if he kicks truly. So Brodie Grundy, what a game he had last week. 39 disposals in the win against the Bombers. What form he has been in the last 10 weeks. Brodie Grundy with the kick goes wide. So Swans lead it by 2. Kick outside the defensive 50 from Brisbane. Doesn't hit the target and rolls out of bounds. So about 55 out from the Swans goal. It will be thrown into play. So umpire throws it back into play. Grundy and Fort go at it. Fort wanting a free kick. Probably deserved one in the end. Wasn't paid. Warner over the top to Sheldrick. Was paid a throw. So Dunkley will get the free kick. So Josh Dunkley had a brilliant first half. He's already kicked the goal. Kicked the opening goal of the game, in fact. So Dunkley. High ball towards the wing. McCartan takes the front spot. Couldn't take the mark. Blakey. Rowbottom. Morris almost got the perfect tackle. Just got it away there, Rowbottom. Florent turned out of traffic, then turned it over. McCluggage tried to get the kick forward. Reveal in and under. Blakey puts on the pressure. Florent dives on it. Golden. McCartan. He has had a brilliant first half. Finds his teammate in Warner. So now the Chad. Short ball inside to McInerney. He's had a good game. Go Swans against the Lions. Oh, you want the Swans to win because of the Pies, obviously. Yeah, I get it. McInerney gives it back to the runner in Sam Wicks. He'll run away. Send it towards the 50. 1-on-1 Grundy again. Couldn't take the mark. In on the ground. Gives it off to Rowbottom. Low darting ball towards Buller. Well, that'll do for the Swans. That kick was perfect from James Rowbottom. And Jack Buller gives it off to Tom Papley. Always in and around for a goal. And he'll miss. Oh, he has called it back. Hang on a minute. Well, they get a bit lucky there, the Swans, because that was missed by Tom Papley. So Jack Buller will get this ball back. I think Jack Buller, all the 17 of the 18 players on the ground have asked for this footy. Eventually, he's going to take the responsibility himself. And why wouldn't he? Last week, he kicked a brilliant goal from the pocket against the Bombers. He's finally taken his responsibility. So now Jack Buller, the cool, calm approach, and that's maybe why he gave it to his teammates. He's hit the opposite point post 3/4 of the way up for no score. At least Tom Papley got a point. So Dane Zorko will take the kick here from the right back pocket. Minute and a half left in this first half. The Lions dominated the first 15 minutes. The Swans have responded. Can the Lions get one late? Sends their high ball. Standing in front was Rayner. Fort couldn't win it. Now Lloyd on the left boot. Dangerous ball inside the 50. Golden tried to gather the ball in the back, surely from Dane Zorko. And he's got it. Zorko not impressed. Looked like it was in the back for mine. And now Golden. It's been a little bit too touched so far today. Hasn't been as clean as he's been in previous weeks. But now he plays on. He'll kick from inside 50, maybe a little bit on the outside, and kicks it wide. Couple of missed opportunities if the Swans late. Can I do the stream? I don't know if I have time to do it tomorrow, man. I'm sorry. Melbourne v Bulldogs. I'll try, but I don't know if I can. I got a bit to do tomorrow. So now Fletcher kicks it outside the defensive 50. Long just in front of the interchange gates. Golden couldn't take the mark. Sorry, Grundy, in fact. McInerney got it kicked out of his grasp by Archie. Ashcroft, handball, turns it over. Warner has a couple of options. He decides to kick it long to the top of the goal square. Buller couldn't mark. Heeney at the back. Quick boot to ball. And Heeney kicks his fourth. What a first half the blonde bombshell is having. 4 of Swans' 8. Single-handedly kicking his team in front. So a couple of handballs here from the Lions. Turned it over. Snatched away by the Chad. Inside the forward 50. Almost the perfect kick to Buller. But Heeney at the back. Does the job. I'll try my best, Hickson. I'll try. So he's in the centre stoppage here, Heeney, with 18 seconds left. The Swans lead by 9 points. So back in the ruck, it's Grundy and Fort. Grundy wins this one. Warner gets out of traffic, only for a moment! Rayner, great tackle. 7 seconds left. He has to go quickly. He goes long. The seconds tick down. It'll go very, very long, and Morris didn't even mark it in the end, unluckily for him. But the Swans, after being dominated in the first 20 minutes of the second quarter, they responded in true fashion, and it's the man in Isaac Heeney who's got them in front going into the main break. At halftime, Swans lead it by 9 points. 8-7-55, the Sydney Swans lead the Lions 7-4-46. All right, guys, we're back in about 20 minutes or so of the second half. G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and of course today we are here to take a look at some more trade rumours. They seem to be coming nearly every single day now. Some new player wants to move, some new team wants this different player, and the first one that came out in the last couple of weeks that kind of shocked me was the Gold Coast and Charlie Curnow. Now this came to light when Tom Morris was out and quickly let us know that on one occasion recently Carlton officials had been forced to tell Charlie Curnow that his management won't be able to trade him in the off-season, and he expressed his openness to join the Gold Coast. Now, this has been up and down in the last few weeks or so. Some people saying that he hasn't spoken to the Gold Coast, some saying that he has, but overall, when Charlie Curnow came out and said that overall he does not want to go, he wants to stay at the Blues, I think that's where we should have left it. However, Sam McClure had this to say recently, which did raise a few eyebrows.
The door is certainly not shut on Charlie Curnow leaving.
He shut it down, or he supposedly shut it down last night. His comments were pretty strong.
Yeah, I heard those comments. Yeah.
So you don't take them on face value? Or
look, I think it's more likely he stays at Carlton because I just don't think the Blues will do the deal. But If the question is, do you think Charlie Curnow is still trying to get out of Carlton? My answer is yes.
Now, look, I'm not going to take exactly what Sam McClure says as gospel. I think that he's just trying to make a headline out of this, if I'm being honest. Seems like that's the only way he gets relevant is if he says something outlandish. So I think he'll stay at the Blues, Charlie Curnow. I'd be very surprised if he leaves. Now, sticking with the Blues, Harry Mackay has been linked to the Sydney Swans in the last week or so. There are other question marks, according to Tom Morris, about Carlton. Harry Mackay's name continues to be mentioned, and he has his eye on the Swans looking at him. And Jay Clark also said that he doesn't think that Carlton will trade Harry Mackay. If Sydney want to look at him, then they should absolutely throw the kitchen sink at Harry Mackay. This is an interesting one. I don't think that the Blues will trade either Mackay or Curnow. Sydney will be trying to go after a big key forward this off-season. We've already heard news from the Swans themselves saying they want to go heavy in this trade period, try to get someone big. We've heard Jamara. We've even heard Charlie Curnow be linked to the Swans, but I can't see Carlton trading away either of those two key forwards. So I think the Swans are probably going to zero in on Jamara in the next couple of months or so. But at this stage, I can't see those two leaving the Blues. But someone that seems almost out the door by a lot of reports is Jack Silvagni. So Jack Silvagni is a free agent, if you are unaware, and it's been quite a long time since we've really heard news regarding him until a couple of weeks ago. And all of a sudden, the suitor looking at Jack Silvagni was Collingwood of all clubs. Now, according to Mitch Cleary in recent days, it does also seem that Jack is going to meet with the Western Bulldogs. But at this stage, I would still say Collingwood are the leaders for Jack Silvagni's signature, but other clubs are circling. Now, I think that would be very strange, especially for a couple of old heads who obviously know the Silvagni family and have watched them over the years. They would be shocked to see a Silvagni in black and white. But it does seem a lot of news regarding this is seeing that not only is Jack Silvagni keen for a move, but Collingwood are keen to get him. We obviously heard in more recent times that Craig McRae actually met with Jack Silvagni, said that the meeting went well. So at this stage, it does seem that Collingwood have offered a 4-year deal in around the mid 600k per year. Carlton seem to be offering the same. So it seems a little bit like, which club do you want to play for? Do you want to stay? Do you want to maybe go to Collingwood and potentially have instant success? Or do you want to go with the Blues and see where it goes from here? And there's also talks about the fact that he may get attraction from other clubs. I think it was St Kilda a couple of years ago were looking at Jack Silvagni, and he obviously has a link with his dad being at the St Kilda Football Club now. So definitely a one to watch. There has been some news in recent days that Carlton now don't want this to get out of hand and are trying to get Jack to stay at the club. But this one's going to continue to circulate, so we'll have to wait and see on that front. Now moving to Collingwood, an interesting one here is Brodie Myercheck. John Ralph has said that he's more than happy to wait, given he's got a lot of rival clubs' interest and only been offered a 1-year deal from Collingwood. One that is interested is Carlton, and I wouldn't be too surprised if a couple of other clubs start to look at Myercheck. And in recent days, we've seen the likes of Melbourne and the Sydney Swans wanting to be in the hunt for Brodie Myercheck. As a Swans fan, I actually wouldn't mind the signing of Brodie. I think that he'd probably go for not too much money, and he's such a reliable forward for Collingwood. So if Sydney were to offer him something, I wouldn't mind that one bit. I definitely think that he's got a lot to offer, and his salary's always been quite unders while he's been at Collingwood, so I wouldn't be too surprised if a couple of clubs start looking at him. I'd be interested to hear your guys' thoughts, Collingwood and Carlton fans. Would you do a straight swap for Jack Silvagni and Brodie Myercheck? That would be an interesting one. Obviously, both of them are free agents, but I'd be interested to see, do you think if those two were to swap clubs, do you think that's a fair trade for both clubs? I don't know. Make sure let me know. But one that's been around all year for a Collingwood player is Darcy Cameron. Is very underpaid at the Pies, is on the same salary, I believe, since he joined Collingwood when Brodie Grundy was at the club. So he's paid as almost a VFL grade ruckman, even though he is arguably a top 5 ruckman in the game right now. And it does seem, according to Riley Beveridge, that he is considering the prospect of joining the Eagles. So the West Coast do have Matt Flynn, who they brought in a couple of years ago. Bailey Williams, this week, is actually brought into the side for the West Coast to ruck. So I'll be interested to see if Matt Flynn can get his spot back in the next couple of weeks. But that move really hasn't worked out for the West Coast. So it does seem that they're going to be chucking a lot of eggs into Darcy Cameron's basket. I don't think he'll leave. I've seen reports in recent weeks saying that he wants to sign and that he will sign. So So I don't know where this one lies, but I think that Darcy Cameron will stay. Now, there is also another prospect that Collingwood are looking at the moment, which is Ned Reeves. Now, he is second string ruckman at the Hawks. We obviously saw Lloyd Meek re-sign with Hawthorn a couple of weeks ago as well. And it does seem that both Collingwood and Carlton have expressed interest in Ned Reeves coming to the club. So I think Collingwood are definitely keeping this one on the back burner. Both teams do need a ruckman, so to speak. Carlton have Mark Pitternet as a second option who could take over from Tom Nakoning, who's basically leaving now. So Collingwood, this may be a little bit more of we just leave this one as a plan B if we can get another ruckman. Ned Reeves, definitely on the outer at Hawthorn. I think he'll be leaving at the end of the season. Moving to a couple of Hawthorn players here. First of all, James Worpel seems to be on the outer at Hawthorn, and it seems at this stage that Geelong, according to Tom Morris, are in the hot seat for James Worpel. We also see interest from Melbourne and St Kilda. This seems more likely than unlikely that James Worpel will be leaving at the end of the season for the Hawks. Interesting, because I thought he's always been a pretty serviceable player for them, but I think that a couple of other clubs are going to go hard for him this off-season. And for a team like Geelong, who have lost the likes of Dangerfield from that midfield group now, definitely think that he can take over as more of a bullocking midfielder. At this stage, you look good like Bailey Smith, Max Holmes, a little bit more speed players. I think James Worpel would add a nice attachment to that midfield. But also Melbourne and St Kilda, I think, would love to get his services. Now, Changwath Jath has been circulating around the news in more recent times. He is an interesting one, according to John Ralph. He's finally got his body right, but seems to be in and out of the AFL side. He's played 8 senior games this year, has moved back to the VFL in time. Now, he's not thinking of a trade right now, but he thinks a couple of clubs will be looking at him, especially if he doesn't get into the team coming into September. When I mentioned this one in the last video, it was probably mixed reaction from Hawthorn fans. Some were saying that they should just get rid of him now. Some were saying that they like the talent of him. I see it on more that side of things, the latter, that I love the talent of Jaff, but sometimes he can be very inconsistent. So I think that Hawthorn, they're trying to get a little bit of turnover in their club in the next couple of years. We obviously saw them shore up their defence in the last off-season with Barras and Battle. So it seems like they're trying to restructure even their midfield group at this stage. We also heard the recent re-signing of Jai Newcomb. So Hawthorn definitely got some moves around there. Rowan Marshall up next. It does seem, according to Tom Morris, that Geelong are circling hard, and that if St Kilda do get Tom Nakoning, which they will, he would still be surprised if Marshall was in red, white and black next year. And I kind of lean towards the same. Rowan Marshall has always been a number one ruck. St Kilda have done pretty well with 2 ruckmen in previous years. We saw Paddy Ryder and him play a pretty nice role together over the years, but Rowan Marshall's played his best footy when he is the sole ruck. So I'd be a little bit surprised if Marshall would want to stay at the Saints next season if Tom Nakoning does come to the club. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he is in a Geelong jumper next year. The Crows were linked to him for a little bit, but with their re-signing of Riley O'Brien, I would highly doubt the Crows are going to look at him at this moment. But someone that the Crows could be looking at, and they would want desperately, is Nasiah Wanganeen-Millerer. No one really knows where he's going to be next year. Not even Tom Morris. He has said that even the closest to Nasiah know nothing about what he's going to do next. Not even his best friends, Adelaide and the Power, have no idea. So I really don't know where this one lies for Nasiah. We saw him have a great celebration last weekend, obviously, when he kicked that winning goal and have that massive last quarter for the Saints, and they were all a celebration. I think it was at a hotel and he was on Ross Lyon's shoulders, but I really don't know where this goes. I've always felt like he would sign a short-term deal to get him to free agency and then would reconsider that option, similar to how Chad Warner did it. But the fact that it's round 21 as I'm recording this and he still hasn't re-signed with the Saints would lead me to believe that it's at the very least 50-50 where he goes, if it's SA or he stays at St Kilda. Now, Dale Thomas came out and said recently that ever since Caroline Wilson's story regarding Nasiah allegedly saying to his mates that he didn't want to go to the Crows because of Taylor Walker's racism scandal, that's all blown over now. And apparently, he's famously getting along with a lot of Adelaide players in group chats. Now, Dale Thomas, it's really hard to believe a lot of these stories regarding this. Carlson, for me, I don't believe a lot of these rumours anymore. I just am going to wait and see what he says when St Kilda's season ends or when he re-signs, because I really don't know. Maybe he gets to the Crows. On success factor, they're in front of Port Adelaide now. On family factor, he's probably looking at the Power. On money factor, it's probably the Saints, but even then, both SA clubs are pretty cashed up at the moment, so this is a much watch for me. But staying at Port Adelaide, Zach Butters has been linked to Collingwood's, Richmond's, pretty much every single big big Victorian club, and the Western Bulldogs are the latest to come out with recently Marcus Bontempelli. After his re-signing, he said he loves watching Zach Butters play. If we happen to end up at the same team, I think I'd be pretty happy about that too. I mean, that would be a great second fiddle to Marcus Bontempelli, Zach Butters. I don't know where this one lies. My brother's pretty adamant that he's probably going to leave next year. He thinks he'll stay through till 2026, but he thinks that Zach Butters is probably on the outer. I did ask him in our podcast, which, by the way, you can go check out, link below. But we talked about, would you rather Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller or Zach Butters? And it was a very interesting conversation. I mean, obviously, it's not a straight trade. You're not going to do that. I don't think St Kilda have really been interested in Zach Butters. I mean, I'm sure they'd take him, but it'd be an interesting conversation to have. Port Adelaide, I think, still have to get him to stay at the club. It's going to be super difficult, but also on the other side of things, Port Adelaide don't have any first round picks or any second round picks either coming up. So if Nasiah does want to go to the Power, I don't know how they're going to get the job done without trading out someone big. That's definitely a watch. Zach Butters, I don't think will go at the end of 2025. Maybe 2026, though, will be a watch. Now, on the Saints as well, Liam Ryan has been linked to St Kilda and has been linked to Essendon in recent times as well. Now, it's interesting because he has a family in WA and has been there his whole career, but it does seem that he's okay with the idea of moving to Victoria to go to an Essendon or a Saints. So keep your eye on that one. Last time we talked about Liam Ryan, I said he's probably not going to go. This is just a little bit more of a rumour, but the fact that it's still around makes me believe that this could be one to watch. But to the king of WA in Harley Reid, it's quite interesting looking at the situation regarding him right now. Harley's management has presented some options to the West Coast Eagles about an extension and to see if he could have a long-term commitment. But Harley Reid's management's pitch to West Coast, according to Cal Toomey, is 11 years as a deal, 2-year contract with the option of 9 more. Another one as well, according to what Victorian clubs have heard from Harley Reid's management, is unless they're talking 1.5 million minimum over 10 years, you're not in the ballpark. So with that being said, St Kilda sort of dropped out in recent times. Melbourne have as well. And most people don't think that Essendon are going to be willing to pay $1.5 to $2 million on Harley Reid. But it does seem that the West Coast look more than likely to get the re-signing of Harley Reid, at least in the short term. Now, Hawthorn have also been linked to him, and we've seen that he's have a great relationship with Sam Mitchell. But at this stage, I think he's staying at the Eagles at this moment. His response after his injury on social media saying, "Be right back," kind of alludes to me that he's going to stay at the West Coast Eagles, at least on the short term. But sticking in WA, we're going to be looking at Fremantle, a couple of players. First of all, on the outer, Neil Erasmus was picked as a pretty high pick back in 2021. It does seem that the Western Bulldogs are keeping an eye out on him. Now, he's also been linked to the West Coast Eagles, so one to keep an eye on. I think he's probably on the outer, probably one to go. Maybe stays if they can get him in the team towards the end of the year, but it does seem that Nat Fyfe has kind of taken that sort of role as that's like the 20th player to the 23rd player in the team. So I think he's probably going to look for more game time, and the Bulldogs seem keen to get him. Judd McVie is such an interesting one for mine. Has been linked to the West Coast Eagles in a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned it, but it does seem that Fremantle are now the favourites to get Judd McVie, according to Cal Toomey. And John Ralph says his contract will be pushed back to the last round of the season. It does seem that he wants to stay at Melbourne, but Fremantle are coming hard. And also, with Fremantle being quite successful this season, and hopefully for their sake, they can go even further this year, make finals, and then maybe even make it to a semi or even a prelim, would be dreams for a couple of people in purple. But, I mean, I think that that's going to be an interesting one to watch. We do think that there's going to be a bit of turnover at the Ds going into next year. Now, Clayton Oliver, it does seem now that the Demons are pretty well locked to keeping him, because Tom Morris has made it clear that his huge salary works against him being able to leave. And John Ralph simply says that there's no interest out there for him. If he was to leave to a different club, he'd have to take nearly a $500,000 pay cut. I'd be just staying in blue and red, Clayton, and just enjoy your career of mediocrity for the rest of it, I would say. I mean, after a very good career he's had to date, I think at this point he's kind of going on the the down path now. So just keep that money rolling in, mate. Your footy career only lasts, 10, 15 years if you're lucky. So I think you just cash in on the money right now. But also, another one here is Jake Lever. We heard a couple of weeks ago regarding his unrest regarding being dropped about a month ago now. He has recently to the team. But rumours continue to circulate regarding Jake Lever. John Ralph has said that he certainly hasn't talked to any club and he's invested at the D's, but he does believe that a couple of clubs will be starting to talk to Jake Lever's management, and clubs that have been linked right now are the Western Bulldogs and North Melbourne. Now, I think both clubs desperately need some help in their defence. Jake Lever would be a great attribute for both of them. However, like I said a few weeks ago, I think they're making a mountain out of a molehill here. I don't think Jake Lever will leave. I mean, it would be understandable that he would be pretty disappointed about being dropped, but I don't think he's going to leave the club. He's been back to the team now, hasn't been dropped since, and I think he's pretty well comfortable at the D's. Now, Ollie Florent, I've kind of not talked about Ollie Florent because I've always believed that the Swans were going to keep him. Has been such a great Swans player for so many years now, but it does seem that the rumours continue to come out regarding Ollie Florent and the Blues. Now, John Ralph has said that he's played 7 of the last 8 games in the VFL, and the only senior game he played was 40 minutes off the bench as the sub. He is contracted to Sydney until 2029 and is a loyal Sydney man, but his papers aren't exactly stamped just yet, but basically has shown they're pushing ahead without him at this moment. Now, in round 21, he actually came back into the side. He's been named, has had pretty decent form in the VFL, but Carlton have been linked to him. It'd be interesting to see if Harry Mackay or a Curnow were to leave and go to Sydney. Ollie Florent would most likely be the one that would have to go to Carlton. He has been linked to them. I think is what Carlton need as well. Someone off halfback who can distribute the ball well. I just don't know if Sydney would want to get rid of him. I mean, as a Swans fan, he's always been a very good player. He's been a favourite of mine over the years. But it seems that he's on the outer with Dean Cox as the new coach. So just one to watch for mine. But yeah, this moment, he is in the team this round. So hopefully has a good game and can get a couple of good games going into the rest of the season. But for now, it's one to watch on the trade front. Now, on Brisbane's point of view, Sam Draper and Oscar Allen are near certainties to join the Lions at this moment. Both of them at this stage are out through injury for the rest of the season. Oscar Allen, what a debacle that's been for the West Coast. He is on the out straight away. I'm surprised he hasn't already made the trade request, if I'm being honest, or the movement request. Sam Draper is a bit of an interesting one. He was linked to the Crows, but with the Crows signing Riley O'Brien recently, I don't think Adelaide are going to be looking at him. So it looks like Brisbane are the ones to be getting both of their signatures. But there are a couple of Essendon players that could also be on the move.
I think Elijah Sardis has every chance to be at another club next year. Number 5 for Essendon. High draft pick. Just hasn't nailed that spot in Essendon's best team. I think Ben Hobbs has every chance to have a look around as well, a midfielder. I think how he finishes the season will be interesting there. I'm not sure any decision has been made, but I'd keep an eye on him. Also keeping a close eye on Jade Gresham and Archie Perkins at the Bombers as well. So they could have a seriously impressive suite of draft picks, similar to Richmond's last year.
Now, with these Essendon players, I think Sardis probably goes. Hobbs may go. Perkins and Gresham, I feel like, will stay. But Sardis, I think for mine, the fact that he hasn't got consistent games this year, I think that he will probably look to go elsewhere. Ben Hobbs, I think, is 50-50. He's got some good games for Essendon, but has also been dropped to the VFL a lot of times this year. And would he be in their best 23 if they had their best team out there? I'm not exactly sure. Jade Gresham and Archie Perkins. Gresham they brought over from St Kilda a couple of years ago, so I can't see them getting rid of him straight away. And Archie Perkins, I think the talent is there. They just need to get it out of him. So just keep your eye out on that. Now, Joe Danaher, I don't know how he keeps on getting brought up. I'm sure he wants to just stay home and not be in AFL anymore. AFL rumours continue to circulate about his return. All right, guys, we're back here with the third term, of course. Massive ramifications to the top 4 for this game, of course. Brisbane can make themselves into second position if they win today. But a loss would put them in jeopardy of actually missing the top 4. So, massive game for the Lions. The Swans probably doing this more for pride than anything, but still massive. In fact, they'd actually be top the Lions if they win today. So, massive for this second half. But here we go. Third term about to get underway. So back in the middle we go for the first clearance. The Lions continue where they left off. Almost Rayner. Got it away. Dunkley gets the ball bouncing inside the forward 50. Archie takes the ball nicely. Wheels around on the right. Inside 50. Rayner continue to track forward and takes the mark. Great work there from Cam Rayner. Hasn't had a massive game so far, but he works on pure impact. And a chance here for the Lions to get the first goal of the second half in quick succession. So Cam Rayner straight in front, 35 metres out. Kick looks pretty good. Hits the post. So 8 points. Swans go straight through the corridor for Isaac. What a game he's having. Wilson goes now. Sends it towards the 50. McLean couldn't mark Warner. The rove was nice. The snap on goal. Will it go all the way? Oh, you bet it does. The Brisbane Lions down one end misfire. The Swans down the other. They're red hot. That was brilliant from the Swans. Isaac Heeney in the middle of the ground takes a screamer on top of Dunkley, and then the finish from Chad. That will be on a couple of wallpapers in kids' rooms for a few years to come. But the great finish from Chad Warner should not be underestimated. Great work. So Warner gets his second. Swans break out to a handy 14-point lead. He's got two. Chad Warner probably hasn't had as big a year as he did last year, but still a great finish there. From the middle of the ground, Dunkley trying to get there. Fort does well. Handball back to McCluggage. Good little duck step. The kick towards centre half forward was nice. Cam Rayner takes the grab. He went to play on. Sends it long towards the top of the goal square. More pocket. Cameron couldn't mark it in the air. Now Rampy. Good gather. Sends it outside the danger area for a moment. Fletcher couldn't take the mark. Good rove from McLean. Gives it immediately off to Campbell. Looking forward. Doesn't have many options at all. Has to keep on tracking forward. The kick on the inside was perfect to McInerney. Takes a moment. Golden on his left. Decides to hold up. Short little ball. Hits up Jordan. Just outside the forward 50. He's got Buller in the goal square. Golden in short. Holds up for a minute. Doesn't want to waste it. So now Jordan goes long. Harris Andrews in the front spot. Stands in front and takes a good grab. But hang on a moment. I think a free kick's been called. Maybe. No, I think it's gone to Harris Andrews. Oh, it's a free kick to the Swans. It's gone to Isaac Heeney of all people as well. No one knew it in the ground, I don't think, except for the umpire. But now Isaac Heeney a chance for his fifth. He'll come around on the right boot. Hasn't used it much today, but he kicks the goal and the Swans lead by a game-high 20. 5 goals from Isaac Heeney. He is making the difference right now. We need to look at that again because that was a big free kick to be called. How you doing, OP Port? What are you up to today? So it's Wilmot who's got an arm across, arm over the shoulder. It is so minimal. Even as a Swans fan, I didn't know it was going the Swans' way. I mean, by the letter of the law, maybe, but that is a tough call. Good to see you in good form calling the game, little McInerney. I haven't seen you in a while, man. How you doing, Hookstagram? Well, after the Lions had a very early opportunity to get the first goal of the second half, the Swans have responded with 2 quick goals of their own. Swans out by 20. What do the Lions got? Back in the middle we go. Warner. Handball missed its target. Dunkley should get the clearance here for the Lions. Tumbling ball towards half forward. Logan Morris beaten to it by McCartan. He ducks back inside. Looking corridor. It's come a bit off the instep, but it's an okay option. Golden missed his target. Dunkley steals. Ashcroft. Wilmot. Fort. Towards Dunkley again. They link up nicely here, the Lions. McCluggage. Kick was smothered. Worked out okay. Cameron. He's always smart around the goal face, but just hasn't been his day. Sends it very wide. Lions could have used a bit of John Denver right there, but just goes wide with the kick. So Melican sends it as far away from goal as he can. Grundy goes up, couldn't take the mark. Andrews, Rayner got taken high. Rampy all over him. Ball up. May have been trying to get a high one there. Cam Rayner wasn't rewarded by the umpire. Umpire, a little bit of a wry smile with Cam Rayner there. No high free kick given. So now at the stoppage, Grundy with the tap. Sheldrick somehow got out of there with ease in the end. Gets on the left. Sends it a little bit more corridor, but Buller up to it. Pushed his opponent, but missed the footy. And then Duday will get the free kick. Done a couple of nice things, Tom Duday, in his first game in over a couple of years. Wide ball to Ashcroft, further on to McCluggage. He's got a short option here, McCluggage. He doesn't want it, though. He wants to go longer. Wants to put it into a dangerous area. Looks for the pocket for Fort. Grundy makes it a certainty, puts it out over the boundary line. So 16 minutes obviously still left in the third term. Heaps of time left in, but the Swans have the first 2 goals of the third term. So back in the ruck we go. Grundy and Fort. Grundy with the tap. Ashcroft coming through, flashing through almost. Warner almost held him up there. Campbell with the spin. Off to Buller. The Swans are tracking forward again. Buller just sends it high, hoping for a flyer. Up goes Fletcher, couldn't mark. But the numbers with the Lions. Gardner sends it towards McLaughlin. Just on the point of the defensive side of the square. He plays on. He doesn't know that just yet. Eventually sends it out wide for Berry. So the Lions just need to stem the bleeding for a moment. Short ball. He just holds up here. The Lions are centre wing on the outer side. Doesn't want to waste it here, so they just go back for Harris Andrews. And he goes up the ground. He finds Will Ashcroft. And then back to Harris Andrews. The Lions just trying to take a little bit of flow out of the Swans game here. Goes into Cameron in the heart of the Gabba. Again, Cameron just has no options. The Swans have really locked them down here. So he goes back wide to Tom Duday. And he further on now to Gardner. You made commentary, Kate, again. All right, I don't know about that, but I appreciate it, man. Short ball to McCluggage. Again, they just want to go super slow with this play. He finds Rayner on the lead. Just on the the offensive side of the wing, and gives it off to McCluggage, the runner. Usually a good user inside the forward 50. Looking for Fort. In front, Melican. In fact, it's going to be a free kick to Grundy here, but Melican did a great work. And Grundy, who's been pretty well held so far today, wins that battle. Short ball from Wicks finds Florent. Back in the team the last couple of weeks. Has shown some good signs of form after a long stint in the VFL. Florent sends it high towards the wing. Where's Heeney? Buller takes the front spot. Couldn't win it in the air. Slapped forward by Gardner. But the numbers with the Swans again. Warner, handball back. Florent on the inside to McInerney. They've got players on the outer. They just have to find them. Cunningham takes the mark. He had Rampy running. Doesn't have that option now. Eventually tries to make it. And Rampy takes the mark. Centre wing out of side. He's got Sheldrick on the lead. He finds him. And he's got Rampy running. Gives it off to him now. The old captain, the old firm, sends it long towards the top of the goal square for Heeney. Gardner did well in the air. Brought it to the ground. Campbell there. Ashcroft gets first. Good kick forward. Only as far as Wicks. Held up by McLaughlin momentarily. Warner on the up to Golden. Handball further on. Florent. Chance now for Lloyd. Snapping it high and long. Heeney, the only chance here, maybe. Andrews takes the mark. Always stands up in a tough situation, Harris Andrews. Inside to Zorko, and now the Lions want to go. Wilmot, handball, overlap, and now they go with Ashcroft. On to Rayner. They've got players out the back here. They just have to work it out. Morris, been quiet since the opening term. He'll wheel round on the right. He went to go, then realised he wasted it. Melican shut him down. A little bit of a laugh in the ear. Lewis Melican up to the challenge. Did well there, Melican. Kick out wide towards the one-on-one. Buller did well there. Harris Andrews spoils it out of bounds. Logan Morris just wasted a crucial chance to go forward. So Lockie Neal up in the bench, up in the stands right now, sitting next to Buddy Franklin of all people. So back in the ruck we go. Grundy with the tap. Couldn't take it cleanly. Smacked on the ground. There was the Brisbane player. McInerney gives it off to Heeney. Good little stiff arm on Zorko. The kick is all important. Right up against the boundary line was Buller. And it just goes on the outer side of it. Harris Andrews will get the free kick. Still, neither sub is yet to be used for either side. Devon Robertson, the sub for Brisbane. The Swans is Caden Cleary. Zorko sending a dangerous ball through the middle of the ground. Hipwood couldn't mark. Lloyd tried to give it on to Melican. He was held. Goulden in and under, wanted it more. Trying to fish it out. Sheldrick held up by Marshall. Will have a ball up. So Jordan has done a really good job on Will Ashcroft since going to him in the early stages of the second term. It's a tagging role. Really shut him down. Spoil out there from Fort, only as far as Lloyd. He double grabbed at it. Hipwood goes to ground. Heeney, handball on the inside. Wicks, up to Sheldrick. Who does he want? He'll send it inside. Just the forward 50 for Florent! Committed for the ball and took the mark. And Ollie Florent, a chance here to give the Swans a 26-point lead. Well, he's had a tough year, Ollie Florent. He's been in and out of the team. Had a big stint in the VFL. Dean Cox, shown the faith. But he's only kicked the 1 goal, 6 so far in 2025. This is a big kick. He'll meet the line at 50. He'll go long and straight. The teammates will get around him. May have been a tough 2025 to this moment. But right now, getting the applaudance of all the Swans faithful. Great work, Ollie Florent. Well, the Swans will take that. Game high, 26-point lead. That was probably one of the worst kicks Sheldrick's done all game. He's been really good today, but that was a terrible kick. Just floated into the arms of Ollie Florent. The Swans have done really well to turn this game around after a domination from the Lions in the first half of the second term. Swans have kicked the last 6 goals, but the Lions again out of the stoppage. Rayner, low dart inside the forward 50, skids away, almost past Melican. Did well to corral it, handball up, and the Swans want to rebound again. Florent to Wicks, backwards kick, didn't go 15. Eventually finds Florent, and now he's got a lot of confidence. Just kicks one through the corridor. They've got the numbers here, the Swans. Papley, stuttering, wants to go. Takes a bounce over the top to Heeney. Does he want 6? He saw Nick Blake. He missed the handball. He may want it back, though. McInerney kicks it across the 50, and he hits up Jake Lloyd. I think Isaac Heeney wanted his 6th there. That's why he didn't hit that handball. But he goes to the kick over the top and row bottom into a little pocket of space. In the pocket, a chance here for the Swans to get out to a 32-point lead. Brisbane are in all sorts at the moment as the Swans have a chance here to take an over 5-goal lead. So James Rowbottom, a chance here. First goal of the game, hasn't been as impactful as he has been so far this year. Has struggled in front of the big sticks at times. He'll come in now and drill it straight through the uprights. James Rowbottom kicks his first. Good finish there from James Rowbottom. The Swans are on fire. Tom Papley almost had too many options there, and Isaac Heeney's handball. He's done everything right today, but that handball wasn't so great. Doesn't matter, though. All that matters is the result in the end, and that's a Swans goal. Like that work there from Totoli. Won't be marked around as any sort of statistic, but that little lead up there left a little pocket of space at the back for Rowbottom to take the easiest of marks and kicks the goal. The Swans have kicked the last 7 goals of the match just when we thought the Lions were going to start to break away in this one. Swans have responded, but the Lions again will get the clearance. This time Zach Bailey gives it off. A bit of a bounced handball off to Levi Ashcroft. They need this from their young leader, but he misses wide. And another chance goes begging for the Lions. .31 points the margin. Dane Rampy will take the kick in here. Goes towards the front of the interchange gates for McLean. Wilmot stands in front. Good row from Bailey. Hipwood over the top to Cameron. They link up. That had to be a throw against Hipwood, by the way, and it's been called by the umpire. So Jake Lloyd will take the free kick at halfback. Short little kick over the top. Row bottom. Has no one in front of him. He just stumbles over the top of the mark and goes along with the kick. Looking for Buller. Couldn't take the mark. Berry was there. Handball turned over to Tolley. Missed his target. Fletcher. McLaughlin. Handball back. They got numbers here, Brisbane. Berry. And now Zorko. Did well to duck step past McLean. The kick was almost all right. Works okay now. Ashcroft. Hipwood. Great little work to get away from his opponent. Bailey off the ground. Missed it. Golden. Warner. Saw space in front of him, ran, and good stop from Rayner to tackle. Smith, he's thrown that as well. Free kick to the Swans in the middle. Swans' pressure been very good in this third term. Nick Blakey will have the footy. He sees numbers inside the forward 50, and it's Florin again. The Brisbane Lions, they've been pressured up really well. Dean Cox will be loving this at the moment. Up in the box today. And the Swans have done really well in this third term. So Ollie Florent. A chance here to kick his second goal of the game. Only had one goal in 2025 before that moment about 5 minutes ago. Pretty similar spot on the ground. It's a little bit wider. He'll kick a little bit further out as well. He'll kick from right on 50. Ollie Florent kicks it long, hooks it left. And it's a behind. Oh, dangerous kick there for Bailey. Works out okay. Now Ashcroft. Short ball to centre half back. Blakey put on a lot of pressure to Tolley. Got it up. Wicks couldn't win it. Did well was Jordan. Gives it off to Goulden. Who does he want inside the forward 50? Misses Buller. Gardner, dangerous handball to Wilmot. Over the top, was dangerous. Row bottom to Sheldrick, tried to step through the traffic. Got the hands up. Papley, Blakey, try to get it out. Brisbane, good pressure. Fletcher gives it off. Low darting ball to Dunkley. And the Lions can take a breath. Back to Duday. And he wants to go switch to the other back pocket now. Marshall. He's got an option on the wing. It's the only one he's got, so he has to hit the target. He'll skid. It works out okay. McLaughlin runs. Sees Gordon running behind him, calling for someone to help him out. Now McLaughlin, who does he want inside the forward 50? He's only got Cameron. He gets there, almost took the mark. But the Swans have numbers. All the numbers here are in red. McCartan, short darting ball. Hits up row bottom. He goes wide. Hits up Sam Wicks. Just takes a moment. And now Rampy goes right back here to the last line. Cal Mills, but they've got the numbers here. The Swans on this side of the ground. McCartan over the top to Florent. Really came into his own in this third term. Short ball to Heeney. He gives it off to Nick Blakey. Off he goes. Swans have got the numbers here. Campbell over the top. Blakey was taken out of the play. Campbell inside the forward 50. Too much on it. Reveal takes the relieving mark. So now the Lions is back to a transition game. Bailey, long ball, finds McCluggage. Hasn't had a big day. Looking through the corridor. Rayner comes up and marks. He wants to go inside the forward 50. A very high ball. 2-on-1 in Brisbane's favour. Florent couldn't win it. Ford over the top. Sydney have to fight. Ashcroft is there. Gets back on the right. Snap. And they needed that one, the Lions. Levi Ashcroft kicks the goal. They finally break the drought. Well, they needed that one. Darcy Fort made it a 2-on-1 inside the forward 50. They almost mucked it up, but Levi Ashcroft, too good. Florent fought the fight, but then Rampy got a really bad bounce, and Levi Ashcroft did good enough to get it on the boot, and he loved it too. It's been a little bit quieter since a great start to this game. But that was a good finish. And back to 26 points. And they desperately needed that goal there, Brisbane. You can't count them out, the reigning premier. They needed that goal, though. Can they rally now? 26 points, 5.5 left in this third term. Fort taps it down. McCluggage is there with Sheldrick. Tried to turn out of it. The Swans have it with Florent. Got tackled well by McCluggage and turned it over. Great work. Now Marshall inside the forward 50. Missed his target. Cunningham did well. Smith, little smarts, tap and finish. How do you like that? Henry Smith kicks a goal. And the Lions have got 2 in a minute. Well, they needed that one, Brisbane. Just to continue on, Florent thought he was away, but he wasn't getting away from a Hugh McCluggage tackle. And then a couple of youngsters at the Brisbane Lions combined for a goal. Henry Smith hasn't had much to say in this one as he did last week with 3 goals from 5 touches. But when he gets his opportunity, he kicks the goal. Good work from Henry Smith. And all of a sudden, the Swans' game-high 32-point lead has been whittled down to 20 in a matter of moments. So the Swans have made their sub. The Tolly is out of the game. Caden Cleary is in. And it's going to be a free kick to the Swans at the stoppage. So that's just a tactical sub there. It's Tolly out. Now Grundy sends it inside the forward 50. Up goes McLean! Strong hands. And a quick response is what's needed now for Sydney. He's had a good game so far, Harris Andrews, on McLean, but he was well beaten there in the marking contest. Hasn't had much to say so far, Hayden McLean. Came back into the team this week after concussion 2 weeks ago. A chance here to kick his first. McLean comes in and he let back on it a little. And it goes to the right. 21 points the margin. Usually been pretty good at set shots, Hayden McLean, in his time. That was not very good at all. So the Lions have made their sub as well. I'll get to that one in a moment. McLaughlin, in fact, it's been subbed out. Devon Robertson in for a tactical sub. So both subs are in now for the latter stages of the third term. Zorko has it at halfback. Looks for the kick on the corridor almost. Archie holds. The Lions want to go with pace now. Handball is the game. Off to Marshall. Short ball. Just had enough on it. Gets it to Logan Morris. Hasn't had a big day so far, but he can have his moment. High ball inside. Long to the top of the goal square. Goes up, was Golden. Missed it. Rampy off the ground. That's going to be insufficient intent, surely. Easy decision there for the umpire to give to the Brisbane. So Jared Berry is going to be tucked up in the pocket. It's going to be a very tough kick. Well, if he kicks this, they're back within 15. The Swans have largely dominated this third term, but right now, if Jared Berry can go back and kick this up on the gutter, they'll be right back in the hunt. Jared Berry with the check side, and it was always skinny. In fact, he smashed it into the right point post. So Dane Rampy will take the kick here from the defensive pocket. He was the one who got that free kick paid against him for insufficient intent, so got a bit lucky there. Oh, Rampy came almost off the outside of the boot. It swings back inside. McLean couldn't mark. Did well to rove it. Underground handball from McInerney. Lloyd, very, very wide. Too wide out on the fall. The Swans just unraveling a little bit in the last few moments. Jake Lloyd's a lot better than that. Wasn't a very good kick at all. So now Fletcher. Inside kick to Duday. Wasn't paid the 15. Has a lot of time to work with it. High ball, McCluggage. So now McCluggage just works it back. They don't want to waste it here, Brisbane. Duday has it. So now Duday, with 3 minutes left, he'll go long inside the forward 50. Very wide ball. Rayner is there. Grundy in front. Paid the mark. He's had a pretty good third term, Brodie Grundy. Hasn't had the impact that he's had over the year so far, but still a very serviceable performance. Darcy Ford's had his measure at times, but he's also fought his way back. So Grundy goes high and long up the wing. Brisbane have the numbers here. Berry ran into his own opponent. The Swans are away here if they can work it out. Campbell missed his handball, but Sheldrick was up for it. Short kick was okay. Hits up Tommy Papley, and he's got an option out the back. Swans have the numbers. Will he mark? There, Jordan. Went up, couldn't take it. Who was that? It was Dane Zorko. What an effort to get back and knock that out of bounds. Jordan had that opportunity to mark, but Zorko did everything to just knock that one out of bounds. But a stoppage here for Sydney inside their forward 50. Throw in now. Grundy takes the front spot. Takes it out of the air. Handball turned it over to Bailey. Clearing ball. Turned it over almost. Went to ground. Couldn't take it. Now the Lions can repel. Rayner over the top with Ashcroft. Was a good 25-metre handball straight to Archie. Now Hipwood has to get the kick away. Snapping ball. Missed his target. And now Mills about to get tackled. Realised there was no one around him, so he tried to get the handball away. Rampy. Good pressure from Brisbane. McCluggage handball on the inside. Berry broke the tackle. Over the top. Bailey with a little stiff arm. Kick over the top is okay to Rayner. Holds it up. Sam Wicks did it well. So Cam Rayner with 2 minutes left. Who does he want inside the forward 50? Morris is giving himself an option in the pocket. That's where he goes. He goes high. McCartan got a spoil. Ball out the back here for Devon Robertson. Held up by McCartan. Ball up. Logan Morris looking for a free kick. Umpire was not willing. McCartan just gives him a right smile. Probably knew he probably gave away a free kick there. Umpire said nothing doing. From the tap. McInerney trying to break a tackle. Looking for the boundary line. A ball up. A couple of weeks ago in State of Origin, I think that would have been what they were looking for. New South Wales from Justin McInerney there to get it over the line. But it's out of bounds. Isaac Heeney looking to get back on the ground with 1:20 left. But the ball's stuck on the other side of the ground. Grundy slapped it down. Lions have numbers through McCluggage. Handball over the top. Rayner couldn't grab it cleanly. McCluggage again. Berry further out the back now to Zach Bailey. Proven goal scorer, but he kicks it very wide and out on the full. Just about to tick under a minute left in this third term. Cal Mills has the footy. High ball out towards the wing. Numbers here with Brisbane. Duday couldn't take the mark. Grundy in and under. Somehow ball spills to Duday. Goulden over the top. We'll have another ball up. Can Brisbane get another one here? Fought with the attack. McCluggage couldn't take it cleanly. Tracks it just before the boundary line. Berry quick boot to ball. High ball towards half forward. Numbers here with the Swans. Robertson pushed out by Florent. Did well there, Brisbane. Just got a nice 25 metres on the play to get back in the danger area. $21 points to the margin. Swans had it out as high as 32, but the Lions have got the last 2 goals. Back in the ruck, neither could get there. Ball gets out the back though. Robertson got the hands up, did well. Berry almost threw that out. Wilmot got it out to Zorko, and he's looking in the middle of the ground trying to open up the play. Gardner. Where does he want to go from here? Just goes to a short ball. McCluggage, he wheels, he goes inside the forward 50, perfect to Bailey. And he will have the last say of the third term. Hugh McCluggage, almost having an Isaac Heeney type of quarter from the second term. McCluggage is having a say. They may have to revisit that matchup at half-time, at three-quarter time, the Swans. Had a brilliant third term, Hugh McCluggage. But now, this kick on Zach Bailey's boot to give his team back within 15 points. Zach Bailey comes in. Oh, and it goes very, very wide. And is lucky he scored a behind in the end. Not a great kick there from Zach Bailey. Should have done better. But at three-quarter time, the stage is set. 20-point lead to the Swans. Lions fighting for top spot on the ladder tonight if they win. But a loss could see them fighting for top 4. At three-quarter time, the Swans lead at 12-9-81 to the Lions 9-7-61. All right, guys, back in about a few minutes. I just want to get a coffee quickly, actually. Sorry. Oh, my. All right, back in a sec. May take a pee too, but that's purely up to me. All right, I'm back. Ugh. All right, so just about get ready for the final term, guys. Let's have a look at the statistics quickly, actually, while we're here. All right, so looking at it right now, on the AFL fantasy front, Josh Dunkley had a brilliant performance with the 25 touches and 6 tackles along with the 110 fantasy points. Will Ashcroft, been best. He's been best for Brisbane, I would say. But what's his name? James Jordan's had a really good role on him since quarter time. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to the Hugh McCluggage matchup, though. I mean, obviously, Isaac Heeney's been best on the ground with the 5 goals, 18 touches. Been influential, but yeah, Hugh McCluggage had a brilliant third term. Really liked that performance from him. He really fought his way back after a tough first half. But after the Swans led by 32 points midway through the third term, the Lions fought their way back with the last 2 goals. Could have had a few more. But Zach Bailey's finish on three-quarter time was pretty poor, if I'm being honest. So probably would have wanted a bit better from them. But still, big final term up for grabs here. Brisbane can grab top spot on the ladder if they win. But a loss would put them in jeopardy of dropping outside the top 4. So good pressure from Brisbane in the latter stage of that third term. That really got their way back into the game, but 20 points behind, still wouldn't count them out. So Justin McInerney's had an issue with his right knee just before three-quarter time. He's been down in the rooms getting that assessed. That's massive news there for the Swans. He's had a really good game to this point, but at this stage, still down in the rooms being assessed. But here we go. Final quarter about to get underway. Who gets over the top here? From the tap, again, the Lions will get the clearance. They have dominated through there throughout the night. Long kick, good work. Getting back was Nick Blakey. Relieving mark for him. So now Melican goes to the long ball up the wing, looking for the one-on-one. Buller was strong, won the footy, got tackled by Fletcher, got the handball away, only as far as Papley, who drives it inside the forward 50 for McLean. Good work from Harris Andrews. Roving was Jordan and taken over the boundary line. So the Swans have it inside their forward 50. Justin McInerney back on the bench. Seems like he's raring to go. Both subs have been used as well, both tactical. So injuries would be keeping a team one on the bench, but McInerney looks good to go. Fought with the tap. Wilmot flashing through, couldn't take the footy. Heeney was there. Zorko taken out by his own teammate. Play on. Now Dunkley clears it outside the defensive area. Terrible bounce there for Mills. Took well there was Hipwood. Handballed back. Levi Ashcroft had a big say in that third term. Kick on the outside. Did nicely to find Rayner. Had a brilliant third term himself. They got numbers through the corridor here, Brisbane. Hits up Jared Berry. Has to come back on his mark. Umpire says play on. He drives it long. Cameron surely gave away the free. McCartan stopped that ball from being a goal, but Cameron's given away the free kick, so it'll be a 1 to the Swans. Oh, and it's 50 for umpire dissent, so Cal Mills will be taken to the centre square now. Charlie Cameron had a dirty night, but he can have his say in this final term. So Mills goes wide for Wicks. He takes the grab. Gives the handball to the runner in Nick Blakey. He assesses his options. Decides to go himself with a tumbler and a wide one. So now the Lions have inside the defensive 50. They go with a wide ball to Levi Ashcroft. Short kick over the top to McCluggage. 21 points the margin. Short kick over the top. Good ball. Hits up Bailey. He's looking into the middle of the ground, realises that's not the option, so goes back to Levi Ashcroft, having a brilliant game. The younger of the two brothers. He wants to go long. Ford is the option. Can he get up? McCartan takes the front spot, drop the mark. Ford on the inside to Cameron. Hardly been sighted all night, and it floats wide into the post. It was on the trajectory of glory, but it just fades late. So now the Swans try to get outside the area, and they've got numbers at the back. Cleary the sub. This will be his first involvement in the game, and it's a good one. Gives it off to Heeney. He goes long. Out the back, Papley. Good work from Wilmot. Got a post. Just got a spoil in and knocks it out. So 20 points. First goal in this last quarter is so crucial. Papley just hasn't been his night. Hasn't really been his year. See in the stoppage again. Got a little tap from Grundy. Heeney couldn't get a clean kick away. Jordan looking for the high one. Umpire wasn't falling for it. Ball fills out. Ashcroft to Dunkley. They work it out okay, Brisbane. And Dunkley with the clearing ball outside the area. Swans have the numbers. Melican couldn't take the grab. Did well to get it back into it. Now Warner did well to shrug a tackle and ducks around this trademark turn. And the kick was nice. And Angus Sheldrick will have the first shot at goal in the final term. So Justin McInerney seems okay. Had a bit of an injury concern at three-quarter time, but he seems all good to go on the bench. But Angus Sheldrick's already had a shot today. Kicked the goal. Had a brilliant first term. Has come off it a little bit since then. But he's the future of the Sydney Swans midfield. Re-signed in the week, shown the faith, and a chance here for Sheldrick to wind up from 50 and give the Swans the lead by 26. Couldn't make the distance, fought with the last touch, knocks it through for a behind. So now the Lions go through the corridor. Rayner gives it off to Bailey. Did well to get past the tackler. End a second. Takes a bounce. Had to get it to boot quickly. Sends it inside the forward 50 for Cameron. Gets out the back. Cunningham will get there first. Ooh, he's okay. Gives it off now. McCartan. Wide now to Jordan. He gets the kick outside the area. It's a wide ball. Buller did well. He'll get the free. Buller with the free kick here. Defensive side of the wing. He gives it off to Goulden. He'll want to run and gun. Now Sheldrick. Good little step. He gets it inside the forward 50 now. Out the back is Grundy. He wants to play on. He gives the handball. Feigns it, in fact. And he says, boys, I'll do it myself. Grundy salutes for the first goal of the final term. Hasn't had a massive day, but he has his moment there, Brodie Grundy. And the Swans out to a 27-point lead. Good work there from Brodie Grundy. The Swans very happy with that. Great work from Angus Sheldrick here. That's a brilliant kick as well. Having one of his best games of his career to date here, Angus Sheldrick. So, Alistair Lynch for the boundary rider for this game. Justin McInerney's returned to the field. Has still a big concern with his right knee. Heavily strapped. Doesn't look too convincing, but he's going to give it a go. From the tap in the middle of the ground. The Lions have dominated through here all day. Fletcher on the up to Dunkley. Kick over the top. It'll work. Zach Bailey had a chance at three-quarter time to give his team a chance. And now misses another one. Poor miss there from Zach Bailey. So now Lloyd goes long, finds Warner. Just on the defensive side of the wing. Short kick was really weird. It wasn't going to be paid 15. Got put under all sorts of pressure, but they work it out okay. Cleary gives it off to Wicks, immediately tackled. Cameron, little soccer on the inside. Ashcroft does the same. Melican is there. Little bit of soccer skills here from the Lions. Archie couldn't get there. Morris held up. Centre half forward here for the Lions. The ball will be thrown up. So Grundy with the tap. Dunkley went through him. Bailey handball at the back. Sheldrick body lined it. Did it well. Cleary. Wicks. Kick out wide. Makes his teammate go and run for it. This is Lloyd. Had a teammate at the back in Rampy. And these guys have been linking up for over 200 games. And they work it out well. Eventually finds Goulden. Went to go on, realised that wasn't the options, gives it back to the runner in Lloyd. Kick up the wing wasn't great. Got a bad bounce today. Buller did well. Heeney, they got numbers over the whack here, the Swans. Row bottom, who does he want? Goes for a low dart inside the forward 50. Campbell couldn't take it cleanly. And now the Lions can repel off half back. They'll give it off to Wilmot. He'll run all day. Kick through the middle of the ground. Good kick to Cameron. He's been good in this final term so far. He wants to go. Sends it out wide. Good kick to Robertson. Hasn't had much impact since coming on. Works it over the top now to Archie. 14 minutes left. He low ball inside 50, taking the front spot. Rampy did it well. If had a little bit more over on that kick, would have gone straight to Morris's chest, but Rampy stuck the hands up. Take a nice mark. So now Rampy sends it high up the wing. 2-on-1, 3-on-1 here, Lions. Always going to win that one in the air. Hipwood takes the mark. He wants to go again. Spiraling ball inside. Again, turns it over. Rampy just made that last kick. He works out okay out wide. Hits up Goulden. He goes long. Good work to Grundy. Just holds it up. So Justin McInerney's made his way off the ground once again. Doesn't look too great for him. He may be ruled out of this game. Grundy short kick over the top to Cleary. So there may be one man down in the Swans for the last 20 or so of this game. So now Warner. Centre wing. Where does he want to go? Where does he want to use it? He drives it towards the top of the goal square. 1-on-1 for Buller. Harris Andrews. Been doing that whole career. Did really nicely there on the inexperienced Buller. Short kick now to Zorko. Always wants to run and gun. Sends it through the middle. It's a dangerous looking kick. Cameron did well. Made it look better than it was. Couldn't grab it cleanly off the ground though. Heeney to Warner. Further back to Florent. Inside the forward 50. No. Revel took the grab. Wasn't paid 15. Now Zorko goes under all sorts. Got a free kick though. So now off they go, the Lions streaming off the halfback. Will Ashcroft off to Wilmot. Had a handle on the outside. Little duck step. Had to take a bounce. A chance here for his third. Oh, that's smart. Really smart play there from Darcy Wilmot. Kick on the outside. Finds Archie. Great work there from Darcy Wilmot. He's had a game and a half. He's had a brilliant last 6 or 7 weeks, Darcy Wilmot. This may be one of his best. But now a kick's on Archie. He comes in, he sends it wide, and another behind for the Lions. Wasted some big chances, Brisbane, this afternoon going into the evening. And now Nick Blakey to take the kick in. Runs his full measure into the back pocket. Drives it high and long. McLean took the front spot. Great rove from Goulden. Handball over the top to Rowbottom. Did well to get the handball. Over the top, Lloyd. He's had a good game. Runs away from his opponent. Handball over the top. They've got a bit of overlap here, the Swans. They just have to work it out. They do well. Goulden over the top to McLean. Looking for the handball of Goulden again. Gives it a Buller. Eventually in Goulden's hands. Who does he want inside the forward 50? Florent will do. Ashcroft couldn't take the mark. And now Sheldrick makes him pay, but only with a behind. Big opportunity goes begging there. The Swans. Crucial chance. Terrible kick there from Sheldrick. Doesn't really use his right boot too often, probably why. So Ashcroft works at the half back to Robertson. And he'll send it up the wing. Oh, it's a bit corridor looking, but it's going to work okay for Rayner. Pushed out of the play there, the Swans player. It was McCartan. It wasn't needed. And Tom McCartan will take the free. It's been really good in his 150th. He goes long. One-on-ones everywhere. Swans getting Brisbane players back, but he couldn't take the mark there, Smith. Papley couldn't win it. Fletcher held up by the tackling machine in Rowbottom. And we'll have a ball up just outside the Swans forward 50. 26 points to the margin. Swans have kicked the only goal this final term so far. Still heaps of time left in this one, though. Neither ruckman could really get a meaningful tap onto it. McCluggage tackled hard. Heeney tried to get a kick away. Numbers on the outside with Brisbane. Levi Ashcroft tried to get a kick away, then got under all sorts of pressure. Good smother. Ball goes up and under. Cleary should have taken the possession. Turned it over, though. And now the Lions have got a bit of run. McCluggage, kick on the inside. It's not a good kick. And Rampy takes the grab. McCluggage wanted to go long, but then wasted it. So now Dane Rampy has the kick in his boot. Goes with a wide ball. Forces it a good 50 metres wide towards the wing. Now the Swans, they want to go. Gives it off to McCartan. He goes inside the forward 50 with the kick. Who does he want? Taking the front spot was Andrews. Good work from Buller to bring it to ground. Great work from Cleary. Now Sheldrick on the right again. He misses. Oh, the kick outside was terrible. And now Cleary can make them pay as the sub. And he has not. 2 misses from the Swans. Have to catch up on the scoreboard there. 28 points. Another miss there. Both teams missing some chances in this final term. Fletcher has it now. So he goes very, very wide with the kick. Trying to get the lead up there with Smith. Gliding in front. Very well done with Blakey. And immediately off he goes. Short kick inside 50 to Cleary once again. And he should take his time here. So Caden Cleary will bring this ball back here. He has the ball inside the forward 50. Had a shot on goal only a few moments ago. But now a chance here to give the Swans a 34-point lead if he kicks truly here. Came on as the sub. Hasn't had a lot of impact so far today. He comes in and, oh, God, he's hasn't even scored. Wasn't a good kick at all. He's only kicked the 1 goal, 8 so far this year. And that's not a very good one at all. So now the Lions want to go. They have to go now. Long kick from Duday. Terrible to Harris Andrews. And the Swans again hot on the pressure. Lock it inside their forward 50. Ollie Florent has had a brilliant second half. So back in the ruck we go. Held up with Sheldrick, trying to get it out of there. Ball up again. So a brilliant game, Angus Sheldrick. Always fighting the fight. In fact, that was Papley, but anyway. Just want to give some roses to Sheldrick. But anyway, from the stoppage. Florin on the up, missed his target. Now Lloyd wrapped up by Bailey. Another stoppage again. So it just ticked under 8 minutes to go. Only seen 1 goal in this final quarter from the Swans. None from the Lions. Tap down from Smith. Florent in and under. He may be in trouble here, Ollie Florent. No. Lockie Neal would love to have that guy out there for the Lions. Out for a couple of weeks. Probably first final for him is probably the timeline. But now the Lions can go. Bailey dropped it. Rayner back in and under. He did well to break past the tackle. Now they can go here, Brisbane. Ashcroft gives it off to Zorko. Missed his handball. And now Sheldrick with the counterplay. Off to Goulden. Inside the forward 50. Great work from Wilmot. He has been a star today. Fighting back. And now they can go off their half-back line through Fletcher. Off to Ashcroft. Further on now to Robertson. Who does he want? Got hit after the play. Tough hit. But now they can work it inside the forward 50. Hipwood very, very wide. And it's a mark. It is. To Logan Morris. Tucked up in the pocket. Going to be a tough kick. But if he can nail it, they're back within 22 points, Brisbane. The young Lions sensation in Logan Morris has been well held by the 150 gamer and Tom McCartan today. But if he kicks this, it'll be 3 goals for the evening and gets his team a chance. Logan Morris, it's been a sensation so far this year. Oh, goes just wide. Just couldn't direct that one through the big sticks. So Mills short to Cunningham. And he goes over the top to Cleary, who's had a couple of good bits of impact so far since coming on, but has had a couple of shots at goal that have gone wayward. 6:12 left in this one. Cleary sends it high up the wing. Numbers with Brisbane. McLean makes a contest. Andrews quick into Gardner. Through the corridor he goes. Has to hold strong. Did well there, Berry. He can wheel and go. Campbell overcommitted. Short kick to Morris. Probably got a free kick. Umpire says play on. Zorko over to Berry. Ducks past the tackler. Further on to Robertson. Hasn't done much so far. And blasts it very wide. They just can't get this game rallied here, the Brisbane Lions. They just need an opportunity. They just haven't been able to get their crowd involved in this game, really, since the midway point of the second term. So now Nick Blakey, long ball up the wing. Warner tries to take the front spot. Great row from Berry. Swung it onto his left boot inside the 50. And Morris takes the front spot. So Logan Morris hasn't had much to do in the second half. Hasn't done a lot. But in the last few moments, trying to steal himself back into this contest. His last shot on goal was right up against the boundary line. Couldn't get it through. This a little bit more better for him. 45-degree angle. He'll kick on 50. Logan Morris gives his team a chance. Don't go anywhere just yet. Logan Morris brings them back to within 21 points with exactly 5 minutes to play. Well, it's only 21 points. There is 5 minutes to play. The Lions have been very good so far today through clearance. Can they get another one here and get the ball forward? Maybe a quick goal. Lions have been brilliant through stoppage and clearance today. Can they get it forward again? Here we go. Fought with the tap. Warner responds nicely. Runs away from his opponent. Gives it off to Errol Goulden. He darts it inside the forward 50. And a weird decision turned it over to Gardner. And that's going to be 50. And that could be 100. It's been paid a 100-metre penalty against Jack Buller. He gave away 50, and now he's given an opportunity for the Lions to get a quick response. Well, that is a massive mistake by the young forward for the Swans. And a chance here for Gardner to get them within 15 points. Well, straight in front, 30 metres out. He's played up forward a lot this year, Darcy Gardner. He's gone back, but a chance here to give his team a chance. It's missed. Not a good kick from Darcy Gardner. It was straight in front. A gilt-edged opportunity for Brisbane goes begging. So now Nick Blakey gets it outside the area. Darcy Gardner will get there with Grundy. Brought to the ground. Numbers with Brisbane. Opportunity here, Marshall. Further back here to Wilmot. He'll want to go. He doesn't really have a lot of options, so he eventually goes with the switch. Eventually, he finds Fletcher. On the point of the centre square on the backside. Grundy has not moved from here. Yeah, Brodie Grundy has not moved from the ground here. He got hit hard in that marking contest. And right now, a lot of concern here for the big ruckman for the Swans. Ooh. So when he went up for the mark here, Gardner's come across him, and then when he's gone to almost go to ground, his head's like whiplashed on Fort's stomach. So, I mean, nothing untoward. It was just unlucky, but Brodie Grundy has not moved, and he seems okay, but he's been taken off the ground right now, and hopefully everything's all good. Brodie Grundy just making his way off the ground very slow. Probably won't be seen again today. Been very good. He'll be okay now. So Zorko with the kick. Fletcher goes out the back. He can run onto his right boot. Short ball. Good work there from Melican. Brought it to ground. McCartan over the top. Cleary has to track it down. Running towards the boundary line. Berry escorts him over. So just outside the forward 50 here for the Lions. 3.5 left. Tap down from McLean. Warner couldn't take it. Slap over from Zorko. Warner up against Fletcher. Fletcher found it to Will Ashcroft looking for the high one. Didn't get the free kick there, Ashcroft, but also didn't give away one. So Jordan seems to have gone back onto McCluggage in this final term. McLean with the tap. Wicks got tackled immediately, got the kick away. Straight to Fort. McCluggage gets on the right. Inside the forward 50 with the kick for Hipwood. Got beaten, did well. No, hang on a moment. I think it's been paid a mark to Hipwood. It was either a mark or a free kick. But a chance here as the time ticks down under 3 minutes to bring them within 14 points. Hipwood knows he has to get on with it. 45-degree angle. Just inside the forward 50. Hipwood kicks it wide. Too wide. Not even a score. Wasn't a good kick there from Eric Hipwood. Short ball Finds Mills. So Mills in short. Finds Lloyd. The Swans just need to take the time out of this game. Another minute out of it or so would probably kill it off. Short ball to Cunningham. Brisbane have to man up. Goes back to Florent. And he goes over the top to Rampy. Swans really professional approach here. So Dane Rampy tucked up against the gutter in the back flank. Very wide ball. Heeney was there. Golden as well. McCluggage did well. Brings it out. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. Swans are almost there. Haven't been able to beat this side. The Lions in 5 attempts. Haven't been able to beat Brisbane at the Gabba in 6. A chance here to knock off one of the premiership contenders. Fort wins it. Golden in there. Fort again won. Got the ball, dribbling ball forward, but Lloyd reads it nicely. Sends it outside the area. Long ball towards the wing. Harris Andrews went to ground, still took possession. Handball back to Fletcher. Left the footy behind. Cleary has nothing forward, but he's got numbers over the top. Handball finds Buller over to Golden. Who does he want? Great pressure from Berry. Got a kick away. Only as far as Rowbottom, who got drived into the turf. And we'll have a stoppage. But that's almost a weight in gold, that work from the Swans to get it forward. Minute 37 left. Somehow it's a free kick on to Jared Berry. I think maybe it was holding the ball. So free kick here to Jared Berry. He goes the long ball up the wing towards the one-on-one. Good mark. Taken by Dunkley. He's been really good today. Gives it off to McCluggage, the runner. Short kick on the left. Skids forward. Only as far as Hipwood, who left it behind. And now Cunningham gives it off to Blakey. And he'll send it up the chimney. Long ball. Standing underneath it. Swans player and Cleary got met hard by Berry. Ball gets out the back. McCluggage. Handball inside. He's about to get shut down. Zorko. Buller. Almost got him. Did well to evade. Now Ashcroft held up by Jordan. Did well to get off to McCluggage. And he just lets the seas part. Gives it over the top. Hipwood. Now to Rayner. Gives it off to Bailey. Who does he want? Can he make it finally finish? He does! 54 seconds. 14 points. Well, they'd have to get a goal pretty quickly here to give themselves a chance. But Zach Bailey has missed so many opportunities in this final term to give his team a chance. And at three-quarter time, by the way. Finally finds the kick through the big sticks. Well, he kicks the goal, Zach Bailey. Gives his team a breath of life. They would have to quickly get the ball forward. They'd have to get a quick clearance, quick goal, do it all over again. They've dominated the territory battle a lot today, Brisbane, but they just haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard. The Swans' defence has stood up really well. Tap down, McCluggage, clearance, 47 seconds. Sends it inside the forward 50. Couldn't take the mark. Mills. Coming through was Archie. Almost got taken high. Handball over the top to Zach Bailey. Tried to look for a high one. Shouldn't be a free kick, but it is. So 32 seconds. Ticks down under 30. Can you please stop? Why don't you just go somewhere else, bro? Zach Bailey comes in. Kicks towards goal. He gets it in. There's 20 seconds. 19 left. 18 now. Eight points, 18 seconds. Look, there's been goals kicked in 9 seconds of footy. They'll need 2 here to get the win. Well, it's a good kick from Zach Bailey. He's kicked 2 in pretty quick succession. Chris Fagan, arms crossed. He's not really impressed. 8 points in 18 seconds. Well, what do they got, Brisbane? From the tap. McLean tapped it out the back. Rayner comes through. Ashcroft runs towards 50. Kicks on goal. And it's not goal. Wait, Archie got it. 6 seconds. There's a chance. There's a heartbeat. Hang on a moment. 4 seconds now. What has happened in the last 10 seconds here for Brisbane? They're right in it. You know, if Archie just shepherded that through, would have given them a few extra seconds, it probably actually wouldn't have been done there, but it's a chance. Swans just have to hold this in here. The Lions actually have an opportunity to win this game. If they get maybe a free kick or something. There's 4 seconds left. Brisbane, can they do anything from here? The Swans just have to hold up for 4 seconds. They've led pretty much all the way through this second half. What do you got, Brisbane? Time ticks. Ball comes through. Warner sockets it out of the way. And the Swans have won. They've done enough. They made it all but a certainty. They almost, if they had 10 seconds there, the Lions maybe. But the Swans stand up, claim a famous win at the Gabba, and the Lions' top 4 hopes get dashed for a moment. They did well, Brisbane, to fight back in the final moments, but it was all too late, as the Swans have won by 2 points. The Swans probably deserved a bigger win, but that'll do, I think they'll say. Percentage doesn't really matter for Sydney anyway, just wins on the board towards the end of the season, going into the next, is what they would need, is what they want. But they get the win, the Swans, in game 150 for a star and Tom McCartan. The scoreline probably a little bit closer than what it really deserved. The Swans were brilliant today. But in the end, Lions, just a big loss for them. If they won today, they'd be on top of the ladder going into tomorrow. But the loss means they sit in 4th spot right now with Fremantle to play this tonight, who could easily knock them out of the top 4. All right, guys, I think we'll end the stream there. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy the stream, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel as well. The review will be out tomorrow night, as always. But, guys, for now,